Yeah, squad, turn that shit up, man.
The Tape Never Lies Network. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Keeping It 100
You got to keep it.
Crew.
Yes.
Big plays are nice.
He's so inaccurate at some point.
I agree.
Oh my God!
Exactly, Greg.
Oh my God! I am in heaven!
Go to the game. We'll tailgate before the game.
We'll call our show TTNL in the stands.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
I hope
If
there's
we
hope.
got the right people, I hope that is hope.
Give me a tackle
Yeah.
or give me death!
Chicago Bears at number 39 are selecting offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh my God!
TTNL, damn it.
What?
Still on the board. It's time for one to be traded up for.
Here we
Chicago's
go.
trading up.
Yes!
What?
Oh my
Here
God.
it is!
No, we're very economical, my family. The difference between winning and losing the game is catching and dropping the football. One time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Become a patron. Keeping It 100. Head over to thetapeneverlies.com.
It's the #1 Bears show on the planet, baby. Keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping It 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes!
What?
Here it is!
There's no competition.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping It 100.
Open competition.
Keeping It 100.
The smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. The dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're mouth stuffed like the true and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the armchair. The tape never lies, the truth, you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Hard crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping It 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping It 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil.
Keeping It 100.
Shayne. Money Man Marsaw.
The following show is for mature audiences only. Tri-City Sports.
Watch the tape, and when you see the tape, you know the tape doesn't lie, and the tape doesn't lie.
The Tape Never Lies Network. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Keeping It 100
You got to keep it
crew.
Yes.
Big plays are nice.
He's so inaccurate at some point.
I agree.
Oh my God!
Exactly, Greg.
Oh my God! I am in heaven!
Go to the game. We'll tailgate before the game.
We'll call our show TTNL in the stands.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
I hope
If
there's
we got
hope.
the right people, I hope that is hope.
Give me a tackle
Yeah.
or give me death!
Chicago Bears at number 39 are selecting offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh my God!
CCNL, damn it.
What?
Still on the board. It's time for one to be traded up for.
Here we
Chicago's
go.
trading up.
Yes!
What?
Here it is!
No, we're very economical, my family.
The difference between winning and losing the game is catching and dropping the football. One time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Become a patron. Keeping It 100. Head over to thetapeneverlies.com.
The #1 Bears show on the planet, baby. Keeping It 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Yo, you got to keep it 100. Yes, the Tape Never Lies Network. The Tape Never Lies Network. Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne, the smartest man. They keep it 100 and they bring it to you. Yeah, right here on social media. The best Chicago Bears show going. With Bears coverage, Bears film work, Bear interviews, free agent frenzy coverage, the draft coverage coming up pretty soon. The Tape Never Lies Network is the place to be. Become a member of Patreon for $7 a month, and you'll get more info, more film studies. Tape Never Lies, breakdown of players. Oh, it's on and cracking. The Tape Never Lies Network. Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne, the smartest man. And I want to tell you something. I love these two brothers, but don't tell them I said that. Keep it 100. The Tape.
You're now in tune with the Tape Never Lies Network.
No different than anything else. It's a collaborative effort.
There's conviction and there's collaboration to dig in and reflect as they want.
The collaborative relationship that Matt and I have.
What did you say about collaboration?
Golly, what the hell is going on?
Poor coaching. Poor coaching. Speaking of coaching, here he is making a great one-handed catch. And you want to see him go down with two hands.
Fuck yeah.
Fullback on backer. Back on backer. You can't let penetration in, son. You jump, hop, and you allow inside.
Dude's a fucking pussy.
Listen, I don't care about the money no more.
You know, my main concern is Jalen Johnson's shoulder. You know, if that goes, we're really thin at corner, and I'm not even happy with our safety. So we really need to shore up our depth at cornerback for sure. And you know, practice will dictate if he's ready. I mean, this guy has been through the ringer before. He's been through the national championship games. I mean, he's a leader. He's got everything we want, but we just don't want to stunt his development, because that would be the worst possible scenario for the Bears, moving forward. So I think, this training camp will dictate if he's going to be be ready or not. I mean, I think he has a lot more experience than Mitch, and Mitch came in weeks, what was it? I can't remember, 8 or something.
No,
can't remember.
today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time again. Here we are, Wednesday night, 8:30. We got the two guys from TTNL Network, Mr. Shayne Marsaw and Dr. Phil Toshin, coming to give us a great show. We got Mr. Gregg Braggs, who's lovable and likable. Sometimes you just want to give him a hug. But then we have the CEO, Mr. Zack Pearson himself, joining us this evening to talk everything Chicago Bears. So I think nothing else is more important than bringing on the two stars of the show. One guy returning from the lovable, I think he went to hedonism or someplace like that, but who knows? But he's back with a smile on his face, a tan, and a pep in his step. So let's go. Shayne, Phil, how we doing, boys?
What's up, Jackal? I was just on, you caught me off guard. I was on Amazon buying you fucking 3 cases of 5-hour energy.
Exactly.
Bring that.
Oh,
fucking,
boy.
Is he a librarian or something?
I am.
Mr. Rogers. That's going to be your new name.
Welcome to Keeping It 100.
Dude, I started choking on, like, I had some popcorn before while the thing was playing. I started choking on it, and it was no good. I hope
everybody's so stoked tonight. Let's get fucking crazy.
Hey, let's get fired up for Chicago Bears football, people. I hope everybody's looking forward to talk to Shayne and Phil.
I'm glad everybody's back.
Yeah.
Let me take off my sweater and talk about our day together.
Come on. You making fun of my sweater, Phil?
No.
It's better than the shirt you wore last night on One Up.
Oh, that's the jam, dog. Don't clown on that, man.
I didn't even wear his Keeping It 100 shirt yet.
I tried to, yeah, it was out. I came back inside and it was no longer where it was left. It's some pile that I did not move it.
More ball drops than a porn star over here with you.
Oh, damn. They drop balls?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know it worked like that. Not the videos I watch or seen or heard about. I don't know. How you guys doing? Phil, welcome back, man. I mean, Jesus, you've been gone a while. People have been waiting to hear this sweet, sultry voice to you.
I tried to book him another fucking week. I tried to book him another fucking week, but Wendy took my phone and threw it in the fucking ocean.
Dude, another 4 hours of straight football, Shayne. You know?
Let me teach Jackal how to do this, Shayne. I mean,
all right.
With Claudio, Claudio does the yo.
Oh, here we go.
So when you come into being out, you're like, yo, what's up, everybody? We got a big show. Like, you gotta have
gotta bring the energy.
We
went from 200 people to like 163 with Jackals open.
Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Come on.
Listen, Phil's back. We got a big show. COVID's killing Eddie Goldman. All this stuff is going on.
There's a lot to talk about. Why would I bring it all up in the open?
There's only one way to get listeners back.
Newest invention here is called the Cobb Quickie.
Listen, I missed you guys. I had a great time. We'll get it out of the way before we get to straight up
just like Shayne did last week.
I don't know. So, Phil, you're getting the same comment that I got last week saying that your volume is much lower than everybody else's. And
do you hear me fine?
I hear you fine. Yeah, I don't know.
From who? Just one person is saying this?
I don't know. This is how mine started last week. I had
There's a couple people, Phil, that's saying in the chat that your volume's a little down.
How do you hear me though?
You sound okay. I
can
Shayne,
move closer to the mic.
Testes 1, 2. Testes 1, 2, 3.
Drop them balls.
Turn up your gain, Phil. Put your microphone closer to your face.
I've never touched my.
I didn't either, and that was I was getting a complaint last week.
I think somebody needs to turn up their own volume because
there you go.
I don't know. I'll turn up my game.
So I owe you an apology, I guess, not bringing it right off the rip. I was
I'm back on the show. I figured
I know you were going to get into it right away.
Than that.
Here's
Where you going?
Game. I was giving a little game.
He skipped the cop quickie. He was just going to town. He removed a couple ribs, folded himself over.
So that's what he's doing in the DR, right? He's having some surgery. He's in a hotel room.
Cheaper in the DR.
Should see his butt, I guess.
My mic. You hear me better now, guys?
Everybody's saying you're low.
No, I just turned up the gain.
They're saying I'm too loud. Maybe I'm too loud.
Maybe Jackal's. Let me go check my settings.
How do I sound, guys? You got me here? Is this better?
I'll have a Whopper with cheese, please.
Actually, you sound good right there.
Fresh off the boiler. You always would have to say that.
Can I get a
trick.
Large hazelnut iced coffee, 2 creams, 2 sweet and low?
If Mikkel Williams is saying my audio is fine, then I believe my audio.
It could have been my mic. My mic might have been a little high. I turned it down.
So I think Jackal was like,
blame me.
Yes.
Blame me.
When you cook meth, it fucks up your audio.
Dude, this whole meth thing. Thanks, fucking Larrinson. I fucking hate.
I'm gonna get right into this. It was tough to be away, but it was a well worth break for the family. The Dominican Republic was unbelievable. You talk about having your perspective on third world problems.
Oh,
yeah.
That would not take long. Yeah.
Complaining about my Wi-Fi when I'm looking at how people live. I was just throwing dollars around like I was Angelo at the strip club. So, because I just can't believe what the dollar is worth there. The experience alone with your kids and everything. It was awesome to be with your wife, your best friend, and this is family here. You guys stepped up last week. I'm keeping it 100. I've seen 45 minutes into the show. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. You have to get a vacation from the vacation.
Oh,
that's
the worst.
Crazy. I was so
that
tired.
First day back is crazy.
And then I'm back at work. And then all of this stuff that we're going to get into with the NFL and the Chicago Bears. So it's like everything.
You had time to be prepared for the show tonight, and you work.
Yes, I do.
Is our one guest ready
always
to go?
Prepared.
Oh, not yet.
Our one guest is never prepared. But yeah, you guys are family.
Not you, Zach. Not you, Zach.
Not you, Zach. The other guy. So you guys are family. I figured I'd share. Yeah, the water. Steph was right in her fear. The seaweed outside our resort was just overwhelming. It's like they put red seaweed in a blender and then just kept pouring it into the ocean. So that water outside, like 40 yards out, was full of seaweed. So we didn't go in the beach water there. We went on excursions and it was just awesome. It was really awesome. I hear the whole Caribbean is dealing, like Mexico is dealing with that. Caden is producing here tonight. He said it. And someone at work, Christina, told me she was in Cancun. They couldn't even go in the water. It smelled the fish. And it didn't smell, thankfully, there, but it was awesome.
So the pool was nice?
The pool and my man, number one, I called him every time. I was like Coco Loco, and they would bring the Coco Loco over there, and it was a lot of fun, man. Just chilling. I met some great people. That's what you do, and I'm telling you, I always say it. Every guest, I met over 40 Bears fans on this trip. There was a whole family from Indiana, not the region. And they were snubbing their noses at the region. Like, those region people. I wish
idiots.
I didn't have my phone to film these people. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was
if you did have your phone, the video would have been clear. Are we going to address the elephant in the room? Phil and I got a chance to meet Caden's mom earlier in the green room. She's fucking hot, man. Oh my God.
Christ.
Caden. You better watch out when you leave for college, bro.
Mom, how's it going on?
Is she watching?
She's got a little baby at home. He's pent up over here.
Well, yes. Well, thank you everybody for the anniversary wishes. I came home. It was just overwhelming. So you guys, and Josh E handling the role from what I've seen so far. And now I got to see some of the highlights that Caden put together in that open to just showcase. I didn't get to even see Logan yet.
You missed the Josh E fireworks after
after show,
we
the
went
showtime, adult night.
I don't think that's kind of like being in Vegas. Are we supposed to talk about that?
I don't know. It was funny though. Jackal was the one that dropped the fucking hammer.
Yeah.
If you remember what your comment was.
I do remember. I'm not repeating it because that's actually. Sorry, Josh and former Mrs.
Caden's
Josh.
even laughing. Caden was there. He knows what he's talking about.
Josh E comes on the show, keeping it 100, and then gets ready to get off the show, and there's fireworks. That's what this show is. How many people have walked off this show, Shayne? We can go through a list.
Oh my God! Yeah,
everyone blames us.
Some people left the fucking country.
What? Some people are hiding out from the cartel. Some people are on other networks. It's crazy what we do here, but there's loyal fans. And listen, the Chicago Bears football. If you didn't get to see us last night, we went on a surprise show. That's what we do here. And we broke down with Gregg Braggs' paintbrush, that I call it. And for all his faults, he does have a skill set, and that is capturing the moment and the angle that I love to coach up. And Gregg, if you didn't get to see last night's show, it's right there on our channel, over almost 2,000 some odd views now. Yeah. Go over there, check it out. Breaking down
worth the watch.
The Fan Fest. We're gonna do more of that tonight. We
got to ask Jackal. Were you guys watching the minutes click away before you went live to see how close we were going to push you up?
Steven and you getting nervous backstage. Fucking Phil and Shayne are gonna go over.
Fucking Toshin's never gonna shut up. Jackal, can you text him? He's not speaking, so this must have happened.
Yeah, he's afraid that I'm.
I have to be perfectly honest with you.
I
thought it was a perfect segue. I'm like, hopefully we get a couple guys that we're watching, and bringing it right on over our way. I thought it was a good show. I was silently watching in the background. I was getting ready for Steven Sarr show there. One Up Fantasy.
We were gonna go over your time.
It did not cross my mind. With that being said, I'm sure maybe with Steven, but I'm trying to be a consummate professional here.
Thanks for having me on One Up tonight, Steven. I'm so hyped. Let's go.
You motherfucker.
Sound like dead air chair.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You got your iPad? You wait. I'm going to tell Bert. I'm going to tell Bert, the limo driver. Bert. Post that shit, dickhead.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys did great last night. That was a good show, by the way.
I don't know how my volume could honestly be low. So I don't.
They're going off. I'm not even going to worry about it. Somebody said my hair looks darker. I think it's because I was outside all day today.
You got red. You got tan.
Yeah, I was working my ass. No, I was working my ass off today outside.
Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Bears. Yesterday, Gregg, with the Fan Fest, we broke down the tape. That's what we do on this network. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. And everything with the Chicago Bears always tends to be they get the right dishes and everything arranged correctly. But they're like that wedding you go to and they sit you with the wrong fucking people. That's what the Chicago Bears are. They can't understand. Live stream the Fan Fest. Stream it to Gustavo in fucking Brazil and Logan in the Philippines and Berlissimo in his hospital bed in England. Allow every fan to see. You have no fucking tricks up your sleeve. There's no gimmicks that we haven't seen you do. We've seen the reverse to the tight end of the 1 yard line. We're not going to be fooled. No one's worrying about what you're doing in a thudded practice. In fact, I think it's so snobby and shitty
of the Chicago Bears organization to drop the ball continuously, to sit me at Aunt Celia's fucking table, who hates and is a race.
I hate Aunt Celia. She's a giant pain in the ass. Why did you have to even bring her up?
Name that popped up. I do have an Aunt Celia, and she's.
I know awesome. Pearson said he fucking hates her too. So
listen, I don't get how the fact they can't figure that out. The Patriots do it before we get the troll boy with the fucking shit emoji or the thumbs down AA fuck penguin guy.
Means you're doing something right, bud.
The New England Patriots have live streamed their practices to their season ticket holders.
Yeah.
And then they outwardly did it to their fan base. So they did it for their season ticket holders, because I went and checked, for 3 years straight.
Yeah, I think Minnesota just did it too.
Yeah, now Minnesota's doing it, Baltimore, all of these people. There's no...
And the Patriots are so secretive, but hey, they'll live stream.
There was one dude who came up with a great comeback to that. He's like, yeah, well, the Patriots have a lot of practice filming practices, which was good.
He ain't kidding.
He ain't. Yeah. Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's right.
I used to say, there's always a way that you're trying to find the loophole. That's what we do here anyway. I know Zach, our first guest, would never do that. He would never, ever do that. So anyway, let's bring on Shayne, our first guest. I'm happy to be back. This guy's promised he's part of the family here.
This is his first intro.
His first intro.
I think
he deserves it, for Christ's sakes.
He is a little nervous here, but this guy writes for Bear Report. You hear him asking some football questions.
Yes,
if he sucked at his questions, I would tell you right now, like, Zach, come on. But I honestly feel like I'll keep it 100, like to show Zach. I feel like you try very hard not to cross any line, but you do ask the good questions. Here he is from the Bear Report and parts unknown, Zack Pearson.
This time of year, only a lucky few get to stand on the field with the Chicago Bears and report what they see. We all used to be able to do that until Braggs ruined it for everyone.
Oh, Maron!
Bears fans, TTNL fans, give it up for the man on the scene each and every day up at Halas Hall. The guy who actually eats lunch with Larry Mayer every day. He's the Bear Report's very own Zack Pearson.
There he is, Zack Pearson. He's got that.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. That was actually really, I was expecting something, but that was actually really damn good.
We got the X-rated one, but we know you got a baby on the way, so we're gonna hold that for the season. We got the yeah, that'd be nice.
Speaking of Aunt Cecilia, man, she's addicted to these Facebook memes and Facebook stories, sharing everything, man. I can't, driving me nuts.
Yeah, I tell you, gotta watch out. She's gonna end up in a hotel in Detroit someplace. You don't watch it.
Misinformation, all this stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. These ants, you got to watch the ants. How you doing, man? You're out there. You got the Kid and Play blowout, so you're ready for your look for the you have the original look. That's important. Now, how has it been in regards to getting those interviews? Are they giving you an opportunity for players to pull on the side, or is it COVID safe? How is that going?
Not just yet. You can put in special requests. Obviously, if you want Justin Fields, Khalil Mack, anyone like that, you're probably not going to get them no matter what affiliation you're with. But the good news is it's starting to trend where we can put in requests and talking to the players individually. So that's going to be good. I'm trying to get a few. I have a few in mind. I won't spoil it or anything, but I have a couple I want to talk to. But, it's been going good, man. Today was our second day off, and it's kind of like I have no clue what day it is most of the time anymore.
Just say it's Daz Newsome, UNC.
It actually is. It actually is Daz Newsome. It actually is. I'm 100%. I had to wait till he got back off the pup list to actually kind of put the request in. But no, I mean, like since they started last week with the reporting on Tuesday, I've kind of lost track of days, but it was nice to have a day off today because I got so sunburned yesterday on my legs and my arms out at Soldier Field. My wife's like, what the hell? You look like a damn tomato when I came home. I'm like, yeah, I need to put some aloe and wear some sunscreen. But no, it's good, man. It's good to have football back. And I really didn't realize, I'm like, we have a game tomorrow night. There is an actual game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that we're actually back out there because at this point last year, I mean, I think training camp either just began or they're just starting to put stuff in place for training camp to begin due to all the COVID stuff. But it's nice to see everyone back at Halas Hall. I wish there was more fans back there. I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little disappointing. I don't know if it's the Bears kind of holding it back.
It is the Bears, man.
I have this theory too.
Go ahead. You give me your theory, and I'll tell you why.
I think we're stuck in the middle of it being Bears and fans, and I think I know what you're going to say about the Bears, and I do agree to that. I also think that when people signed up, they just checked every day essentially,
right?
And they probably checked 4 tickets. And I've been kind of watching crowds go in, and very rarely do you see 4 guys go in. Usually it's like pairs of 2, sometimes 3, stuff like that. And I think so many people got days that they couldn't make because obviously you have to work during the weekday. It's hard to get up there. You have to take a shuttle from a mall to Halas Hall, and you have to be at the shuttle at a specific time. So I think people are just like, it's a weekday, I can't go. So I think that's a big part of it. But I also do think there is something to say that maybe there wasn't the full released. I don't know. I can't get a number on attendance. I've asked. I can't get a number. If I had to estimate, man, I think it's no more than 250 a day. Yeah. And that's absolute.
It's terrible.
Like, you see like 14 kids with Gregg in front of them blogging.
Yeah.
I saw Gregg throw a kid down the other day.
Oh my God. Zach, there was a 3-year-old girl from the region that signed up for 187 tickets. You know what I mean?
Their name rhyme with Regs, Hags, or something like that.
Schmatty Bags.
Here's the problem. Like the Chicago Bears, it goes back to the wedding invitation. It's like the guy who has the plans the wedding in the playoffs, and the Bears are having a great season, and they're going to play the day of the wedding. You can't do that. You got to have an understanding. It should be. And I was talking to Gregg prior to the show. I don't want him to think I'm stealing, but I'm saying the same thing he is. I think you needed to do first come, first serve, and then you'll get a line and an anticipation of, hey, I really want to go there. I think what happened here
and then the people that don't get in, you have all the shit outside for them anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you have the opportunity to maybe we need to make 2,000 allowed in there because there's plenty of fucking room. It's embarrassing, guys. It honestly is embarrassing. Here's in New England, they have 10,000 fans.
There was misinformation out. Like Cam Ellis was tweeting out, making fun of the Bears, talking about moving to the burbs and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, but look, Halas or Soldier Field's going to be packed today. And I'm like, what the fuck? I literally used your tweet, Zach. I'm like, they introduced the quarterbacks. I'm like, there's nobody there at all. It's crazy.
It was better at Soldier Field, but that's because it's bigger there. Yeah. But it still wasn't complete. Like there was empty seats around.
And there was no shuttle. I didn't know about the shuttle thing Now you got the shuttle. Yeah. That's like getting from the resort to the airport. Now you're waiting in line. It's like crazy.
I don't know if you guys have ever been out up to the Vernon Hills, Lake Forest area, but the shuttle is not like right next door either. It's a couple miles down the road. It's at a mall, actually.
No, we haven't been. Yeah. I don't know if they'll let us in.
Yeah,
our fans are fighting for us to get credentialed, and that would be the greatest day in the history of Chicago Bears football, because I'm going to push some back towards Nagy. Maybe me and you talk on the side. You tell me what you really want to ask him, and I'll be that guy for you. But
yeah, I got some stuff that you kind of got to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like you guys, I'll say you only because you're here, but I know a few others that really want to delve deeper into coach situational football and things like that. And I feel like they really do kind of push you in a way. Two more, guys. Two more. Like, no, answer every goddamn question. You're gonna run out. So
they cut the Nick Foles presser pretty quick too.
Yeah.
Oh, they were getting nervous when Nick was talking.
I've never seen anything like that.
Let's talk about that.
People are asking why was he even talking. Well, he hasn't talked all offseason. This was the first time we got to hear from him. He was not with the team early in the offseason, and it was nice to talk to him, but man, he did not hold back. And it was to the point where I was just like staring at him. I'm like,
is this really happening?
Is this like, did the Monstars like take his talent and like, what's going on? Is at one point he said he's a better quarterback than he was in the Super Bowl season.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did.
Zach, how does that work now? How is it decided who is out? Is that all Bears PR?
No,
out there. It's on the media request, or
so you get to put in media requests for days. So we'll send them a list, and that's why you usually get, most days are usually good. They also, if the players don't want to talk, it's kind of like okay, you're kind of SOL. The Foles thing was they just wanted to get the quarterbacks in. In a normal training camp,
it was perfect timing with the Colts stuff, though. That's
oh my
God.
Phil's like, why is this motherfucker talking?
No,
and I'm like, I think it's good business. Put him out there and let him rip. And hey,
this is the truth behind the scenes, Zach. I text Shayne. I see Nick Foles. I'm like, what the fuck is a third string quarterback talking for? Shayne texts back, Phil, this is good business. You got fucking Wentz is hurt. Now the Bears are selling this motherfucker, and he's going out there petitioning for the Colts job. I mean, throwing Matt Nagy on the bus, under the bus.
Well, you know what's crazy about that is, I think it was 2 days before, or day before, Matt Nagy answered about 4 or 5 questions about Nick Foles. And I thought, Matt Nagy deserves his criticism. I thought he handled the Nick Foles questions well, because he could have just pretty much said, whatever, he's a third-string quarterback. And then later on, Nick Foles, for the third time in the past year, has pretty much just said, here you go, Nagy, go underneath the bus. I really don't care. And that was shocking, too. I mean, we all remember the Brian Greasy stuff. There was stuff in the post game after that a couple days later where he kind of shoved Nagy under the bus. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was just it. I'm like, the hell's this guy doing? What's he talking about? And then to even say, like, Frank Reich is your favorite coach.
Favorite coach was that, to your point here, knowing Wentz and the situation and knowing he hasn't spoken all offseason. This was, to me, I'm thinking as a competitor, this was my point of reference. If it's brought up, I'm going to make sure this situation is saying to front office, Ryan Pace and Ted Phillips, who's not involved in football, I want to go there. That's my favorite coach, and I'm going to continue to bury this coach until you do it.
Do you think that maybe his agent and Nick had a deal in place with Indy pre-draft? And the Bears nixed it because they didn't know how the draft was going to unfold. And I mean, then you look, and Indy went out and drafted the kid from Texas.
Yeah, Ellinger.
Yeah.
Who apparently today, now Indianapolis is coming out saying that they're crazy impressed with Ellinger. And I'm like,
sure,
whatever.
But that's all part of the game, man.
Exactly.
Fight back the need.
I don't know if it was exactly Indy. I think the Bears had a deal or two. I mean, Foles pretty much said there was opportunities. I think the Bears were ready to move him, and he said, I don't want to go here. I can't think off the top of my head. I don't think he's connected to anyone in New York with the Jets.
No.
I don't think there's anyone out there
and
It's
supposedly
just the front office guy. What's his name? That was here.
Joe Douglas.
Douglas was with Philly. Then he came here.
Okay.
And was there.
Douglas
so
was in Philly in 17.
Yeah,
and that's not even
that's
not even like a strong.
Not a coach or anything.
Yeah. That's just a guy that understands Nick's work ethic and talent. You got. I mean, he's a pro personnel guy.
He's nixed. Supposedly, the word is that he's nixed any deal and said he does not want Philly, because I heard Chicago tried multiple times on draft weekend to ship him there.
Yeah, Philly is the one.
I don't think he wants to go back with that owner. That's what
it's a new coaching staff that he's not familiar
and he
with.
doesn't know listen, when he said, and I saw, I'll address one of the fans in a second, but when he said, I think it's so important that you know who you're working with and you trust them and you go, those are pointed directly at Nagy.
Yeah.
Serpenskis, or I forget how do you say this dude? Where is he? How do you say his name, Shane? Adeptus Serpentis. There's no reading into this. It's you're a reporter, Zach. It was very clear that he was taking shots at Matt Nagy. He brought up the greasy stuff. That's the that's the foundation of when you saw the uncovering. There's the moment on the football field with the losing streak when you're finally going quick game and Nagy slowing it down and Nick's feeling it.
Yeah.
That caused that whole argument on the sideline that you'll never get audio for, but I've heard through players that was ugly and that Nick was putting Nagy in his place. Like, no, you can't slow us down when we're feeling it. Trust me. Trust your quarterback. When you're a quarterback saying to your coach, who's the OC, trust your quarterback. Now you've got a little vibe. I'm not saying Nick, he's always, to your point, he answered those questions about Nick prior to that presser really well. Even I said it. I go, he handled that well. How, he's obviously put Nick to the third string.
Yep.
And obviously there's that whole bullshit of we made no promises, but we told him he's our starter. It's like, that is the problem. So there's those moments where I don't know where Nagy is. He just gives me so many concerns, but Nick Foles re-emphasized my concerns with Matt Nagy in that presser 100 times over, because I really can tell that Nick was directing those that he wants out of there. He totally respects Frank Reich as a head coach and a play caller and not Matt Nagy. And let's all be honest. Everybody on this panel, everybody knows that Matt has his struggles, including Matt himself.
Well, just to talk about the Colts, I mean, if you're the Colts, are you pulling the trigger on any type of a Nick Foles trade? Quentin Nelson's down for months at this point, and I mean, obviously he's not the most fleet of foot quarterback. And I mean, to me, if you're the fucking Indianapolis Colts and you want Nick Foles, you make that fucking trade before it's even public that Carson Wentz is having surgery.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think he ends up in Indianapolis.
I don't either.
I think he stays in Chicago, unfortunately, and I think the Bears are gonna have to swallow that pill that, hey, we traded for him last year. It didn't work out. We took on his salary.
Who couldn't see that coming?
Exactly. It's going to be one of those ones where, it's frustrating because, see, the Bears are kind of in a cap situation. They could have used that 4th round pick last year. And now you're going to have a really expensive camp arm who admitted that he's literally going out there and almost freestyling the plays.
And he's never looked better.
He's never looked better too. So, I mean, it's crazy. And it's like, he's so confident in himself. But, when you say things like, yeah, I mean, these aren't really, the plays and they're ending, but we're going to continue to run them and play through them and stuff like that. It's like, and the whole Frank Reich comment.
I think
you can be confident and you can have no fucking concept in reality also. I mean, let's be fucking honest. And you can say whatever you want. Did Nick Foles play good for a 5 or 6 game stretch in Philly? Yeah, but nobody talks about that they had the best offensive line in the NFL. Yeah. Nobody talks that the fucking defense was cranked up and killing people.
They were
killing people. Yes, they gave up a
amazing.
bunch of yards and points in the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying Nick Foles' track record of success is very, very, very condensed. So for him to get up there and say that he's better now, you haven't fucking showed me that, Nick.
Yeah.
You have not showed me that.
Yeah, I agree. I believe he's going to be traded. I think the Colts and some other teams, there's going to be injuries. They're going to get desperate, and they're going to have to pull the trigger there. And that's the smart play by Pace.
Yeah.
You hold on to that ace until you drop that thing down and take the freaking hand. That's what you want a good GM to do.
Yeah.
Well,
is Nick going to go out in front of the press?
Injuries fucking happen. The kid in Indy goes out and gets fucking hurt in preseason game 1. You watch how fucking quick something happens. Yeah,
No
and I
doubt.
see the
No
Phillip
doubt.
Rivers stuff today. Phillip Rivers also said after Thanksgiving if they're in playoff contention. So we got a ways to go there.
I saw my boy Michael Williams. He said something. I want to ask you that same question because it's in one of my notes today. So because he brought it up and it's in my note, I've never been around a team that it's like your son calling you Phil or Zach or Shayne. Like, no, it's dad. So none of them refer to him as coach. They never refer to it. It's always Matt or Nagy. It's always Nagy. And it's like, maybe that's the culture that he's trying to create, that there's this friendly atmosphere. For me, though, I just don't.
The thing about it is, Phil, my rebuttal to that would be all the fucking turmoil, all the fucking chaos in the front office with the quarterback, with the fucking offensive line. He's never lost. They made the fucking playoffs last year. He never lost the fucking locker room.
I mean,
there
is a separation there from defense to the offense.
Oh, Phil, that's been that way for 55 years, 60 years in Chicago.
It's tough. It's like you said, Shayne. I mean, the defense is just you can see it in these practices. The defense is carrying everything.
Yeah,
and
they're unbelievable.
They're playing, not to kind of change subjects. They're playing with a swagger that's like we have not seen. And Chuck Pagano was more loud and fiery than Sean Desai is, but I'll argue Sean Desai is way more respected in this locker room right now.
Yeah.
Coming in, and the defense. We hear it all the time. I mean, Danny Trevathan said it. I mean, he was kind of putting it nice. He said, the defense is amping it up because the offense is starting to amp it up. But if you watched any of the practice at Soldier Field, the offensive line was being a turnstile pretty much the entire time. So it's kind of nice words for the offense. But, I don't know the dynamic with Nagy in that locker room. I do think it is, I think there's frustrations. I think there are players that are frustrated with them and kind of what they're doing and how they have been doing things since he got here. Maybe the lack of the run game on offense, maybe waiting to hand over the play calling duties. But man, it's not like Trestman era. Trestman had no control in that locker room. I do think Nagy's got a lot of the respect of the players. It's just now it's year 4. It's got to translate. Like we've heard him say all offseason, this is going to be a different offense. This is going to be what I want to do. We're going to be fast. We're going to force takeaways on defense, stuff like that. I mean, he can say all this stuff, but he's got to prove it. And
I agree
if he doesn't
with
prove
you.
it, man,
So
I'm
tired of respecting the fucking offense that you're supposed to be running and have those players.
Let me play off of that before we move off of this, Zach, because I think this is infinitely important. Obviously Andy Dalton, it seems like he's going to be the guy that get this offensive line figured out and stuff like that. Do you think that there's a chance that could be the issue with these players, that they look at Justin Fields and they're like, this is gonna be the guy. Yeah. We all fucking know that. So what are we doing here? Put him in there and fucking play the kid. Players know. Players know quicker than anybody.
Yeah, that's the old saying is the players you're going to know who's a starting quarterback because the players are going to know first. They'll show, they'll tell you. I think Andy, if it was a different quarterback, I'd say probably yes, that'd be a situation. I think they respect Andy, man. I really do think that these veterans respect him. I was there with Mike Glennon, and it's kind of similar situation. No one respected that guy. No one thought that this guy's going to come in. They were ready for Mitch right away. I mean, let's not forget, Mitch was third string when they opened up training camp that year. And those players knew. You talked to them, it was all Mitch. This year, it's a lot of Fields, but that's because we're asking the questions about Fields too. I think they respect Andy Dalton a lot. I mean, I think, you watch out there, anyone that's been to practice is going to practice. In between the plays and the sets, watch if the defense gets in the backfield. You'll see it. Bilal Nichols, he tried slapping the ball at Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton kind of put it in his chest, and they tapped each other's helmets. It's stuff like that. Akeem Hicks was talking to him on the sideline a little bit, stuff like that I think shows, hey, they know they got a veteran in here that can kind of hold it down until we're ready, and then Justin can kind of come in and get the work done. I think they're going to go with Dalton. And I don't think
I do too.
I agree with you.
I think it's going to be. I think the plan for the Bears was this: we're going to set the bar so damn high for Justin Fields that it's a win-win because they're so comfortable with Andy Dalton starting. If Justin Fields does not hit that bar, that's not a failure. That means that bar was so high that he couldn't hit it, essentially, and he's still damn good, but they're comfortable with Andy Dalton. If he exceeds the bar, you diamond in the rough type situation.
And there's no rush.
Exactly.
I've did the film work on Andy Dalton from Cincinnati all the way. Obviously, on our network, on our channel, you can go over and watch the Andy Dalton breakdown I did with the Cowboys when he thrust into that position in a new offense with a new coordinator. This guy is not fucking the giraffe gaff, Mike Glennon.
I hope not.
No, this guy is a consummate professional who understands pre-snap what the defense is trying to do, the formation, how he's going to attack that defense. There hasn't been a defense that has dominated this guy. Obviously, there's blisters on his resume, and people are going to focus in on that. But there's also a lot of there's no way they should have won without Andy Dalton. If you watch the game and understand, and the fact is, I said this when they signed him, Shayne could attest, and it's audio history here. I believe there's a competitive spirit about this guy being a redhead and being that kind of person that is going in there fully knowing you're going to go get a quarterback. I know it. The 1-year deal, I'm betting on me to go there, take that job. That's what you want here. We haven't had that guy that goes in the fucking huddle and says, run your fucking route. You had Jay Cutler getting upset, but whispering that shit. No, get in someone's face. This is my huddle, and you have the respect. To your point, being there, I just think it just takes that pink highlighter or red highlighter and highlights Andy Dalton and says, yeah, the players respect him. If Zach is seeing that there, if Akeem Hicks and these guys, because there's nothing worse than being that championship quality defense and having somebody that third and 3, and you fucking just don't read the route right and you miss it. Andy's not going to be that guy. Andy is a better athlete than people think he is as well, Zach. Go ahead.
And kind of to Shayne's point, too, I think if Andy Dalton wasn't as respected as he was, I think that's a great point that Matt Nagy would have a hard time looking at Khalil Mack, looking at Eddie Jackson, these guys, and saying, we have to go with Andy Dalton. We paid him this much money, even though we know Justin Fields is better. You can't do that. I don't think that's the situation. I think if he went to them and said, hey, look, I'm leaning Andy Dalton, I think he's going to be the guy at least to start the first couple of weeks, I think Khalil Mack would say, yep, let's go. Eddie Jackson would say, yep, let's go. Stuff like that. So I do think it's important to have, that respect in the locker room and to be a veteran to come in. And I think not only it's going to benefit Allen Robinson, but if you watch that Cowboys tape from last year with Andy Dalton and you look, he went to CeeDee Lamb a lot. And CeeDee Lamb is a phenomenal talent. I mean, he doesn't need any help. But CeeDee Lamb,
he should have never dropped.
Exactly. And CeeDee Lamb progressed and progressed and progressed with Dalton in there. And I think that's going to help Darnell Mooney. It's going to help Allen Robinson and some of these other. They're not really young on the wide receiver depth chart, but it's going to help some guys definitely.
I think one other thing. I'm sorry, Shayne. I honestly think that when you have that established, been in this, done this quarterback for a young quarterback to see that Mike Glennon was never been this, done this. Mike Glennon, I fucking almost died a million deaths when Shayne told me they're gonna sign Mike Glennon. What? Like, oh my God, I was dying because he's not like Andy Dalton on tape has shown me that I'm hanging in the pocket and AJ's not even open, and I'm gonna wait to that moment where I can anticipate him, and I know I'm taking a fucking shot right to the face, and he has that. So when you do that and you have a young guy learning from, I mean, that as a coach, you go with Andy Dalton. I know everybody and their brothers pushing, but just watching FanFest, it was very easy for me to see Andy Dalton right now is ahead of Justin Fields. But we're going to see Miami game, and we're going to do the same thing. But right now, for me, Zach, you're there every day. For me, Dalton looked like, okay, boom, come back, boom, he's hitting it right on the stride. 5-step, he knows, he looks off the safety, comes back to the deep out. He really was the showcase of it. Obviously, there's big plays for Matt Nagy. Big plays are nice with Justin, but to me, Andy looked like he's very solid at the quarterback position.
Yeah, they look like exactly what they are right now at this point. Andy Dalton looks like a veteran that has picked up the offense, can move the offense and run the offense. Justin Fields looks like a kid who's, in his 6th or 7th practice as a rookie in his first year. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, how many of these quarterbacks come out and light it up in training camp? I mean, you saw the one throw by Trey Lance that everyone's freaking out about. I mean, Justin Fields he's made throws like that. Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes at all. Mahomes threw 4 or 5 interceptions first 2 days or something like that of training camp when he was a rookie. I remember there was something where he was really bad in the first.
That's what Ben Albright's putting out there, though. Mahomes 2.0. I'm like,
no, you can't take highlights.
No,
we talked about this last night. Camp. Gregg, to his credit, he's like, I've learned my lesson through you guys and I could bring out 7 highlights from practice and hype it up. Then the games come on. Where is it?
Yeah.
It's a whole different breed, and it is exciting. To your point, you hit it right out of the park. That's what I see too. The ceiling is so high.
Exactly.
But give this guy some time.
Before we move off of the quarterback, I think this is probably important, and I'd love to get your take on it. I think we're all in agreement that Dalton's going to be the guy out there on Sunday Night Football versus the Rams. But how long is his leash?
I give that 4 to 6 week kind of sweet spot. I know that's a little broad. I mean, that's giving me 3 weeks. I think it's that 4 to 6. I just think it makes sense because the schedule is set up for the Bears to kind of, outside of that first game, that schedule is set up for them to win a couple games early. And if that happens and Dalton's playing well, he's going to keep the job at least mid-season, maybe further. I just think, I don't know if Dalton can be consistent to where Matt Nagy wants to be like, okay, this is the guy that's going to fully run the offense the entire year. If you listen to Matt Nagy, every press conference, he's pretty much mentioned, we want to play fast, we have speed. And in practices, they've been taking deep shots a lot more than they usually do. So I expect that offense to be picking up big chunks, things like that. I don't know if Andy Dalton is going to be able to sustain success all year long. And I think it's going to get to the point where the Bears are probably going to be let's say 4-4, 4-5, maybe. Will they make the switch? I think so. I think you have to need a boost. Unfortunately, we don't get to see much of the practices during the regular season. We only get to see 15, 20 minutes. So it's going to be hard for us to kind of see, is Justin Fields ready, essentially. But yeah, I'd say the 4 to 6 feels like kind of the general consensus.
I like that. You look at the schedule here. Yep. If you're listening in, you got the Rams, Bengals, week 2. Then you got the Browns, week 3, at the Browns. This is the first time I've ever in my life seen a schedule flip-flop every week. home, away, home, away, home, all the way down the schedule. And you got the Lions right there, week 4.
Yep.
Mitch, I believe, always beat the Lions. So that is a nice sweet spot there before you head off to Las Vegas with the Raiders. And then week 6, Shayne and myself will be in town. Hopefully Zach his wife will allow him to come out of the house and come down to the tailgate, meet with Shayne and Phil and the TTNL 100 crew out at the tailgate, Keeping It 100 tailgate, TTNL tailgate in Chicago. So 4 to 6, you got Detroit, Las Vegas, and Green Bay. I'm right there with you, all depending on Andy Dalton. Now, remember that time Josh McCown was playing really well and the Bears were on a winning streak, and then Mark Trestman went back to Jay Cutler.
Yep.
And the rest was history. I really felt like that was one of the more talented offenses. And I thought, as a coach, you want to go with the hot hand. I was kind of struggling with it too, because Jay was such a talent, and you thought the baton pass was to the Jamaican sprinter. I don't know why he just dropped off that final stretch.
Yeah.
You would hope Bolt. That Jay
Usain
Cutler
Bolt.
was no Usain Bolt there. He collapsed.
Do you remember what happened the first game that Jay Cutler came back after that win streak?
Yeah, wasn't the first pass was an interception,
Yeah,
right?
it was in Cleveland. Yep.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Picked off right away.
Right off the first pass.
Yep.
Shayne texts me, for fuck's sake.
First pass.
Oh my! I saw his preseason debut as a Bear in Buffalo, and he threw an interception throwing to fucking Devin Hester, and I was sitting next to my brother-in-law, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just do? Like, he was rolling fucking left, and he like jumped and heaved the ball straight up in the fuck. It went like 43 yards, I think. Got picked off, but I'm like, oh God.
I bet you that's not the only time you said that about him, too.
Oh, no, not at all.
No, it's been a journey here. That's why I think it scares me, because of Nagy, how he coaches, how he uses personnel and formations with Justin and this situation. So for us, this is like epic, because we're going to be all over this stuff and how he handles this and juggles this. Going back, and then let's move on to some other stuff. I'm with Mikkel, and I guess I'm just from the coach's school. It's just a sign of respect that everybody call you coach and have that respect. I don't know. I don't know. I have my doubts what that locker room, based on what I've heard, feels about Coach Nagy. But let's move on. Shayne, Zach, some guys that are under the radar that stand out here so far for you in camp. Then we'll get into some of the COVID stuff with you.
Yeah. First, right off the bat, I mean, I guess he's under the radar. Damian Williams has been fantastic. And that's a guy that, I think I'm looking back now, I think the Bears kind of knew, hey, Tariq Cohen might not be ready to go when we thought he is. So that kind of makes that Damian Williams signing that much more stand out. I like Khalil Herbert, man. I think that kid's got some burst in him. When he gets that ball and he's hitting those wheel routes out, he's turning it upfield quick. And not only that, I think he could serve as a kick returner too, because they're going to have some holes to fill.
He's definitely going to be that kick returner.
Yeah, and that's going to help. I mean, when you're a rookie and you're trying to fight for a roster job, if you can play special teams, sign your ass up on that roster. I mean, that's only benefits. Overall, I think, the guys that are honestly standing out the most are the guys you expect. If you're looking for more under the radar, I like Christian Jones, man. I was worried about inside linebacker. I thought if, Roquan and Danny Trevathan haven't played a full 16-game season together in 2 to 3 years, I believe, since 2018. So that depth's going to be tested. I think Christian Jones having a good camp. I think not only, the
COVID thing. But I guess there's a negative.
Big said was a false positive.
A false positive could have taken them out.
Exactly. I mean, he's not putting that out there unless he's got great fucking info.
He's rarely wrong on that stuff. But, I mean, the knock on him, on Christian Jones, has always been, pass coverage. He's got guys kind of struggle to turn around and get his head back to the football look. He's done pretty damn well in the drills he's been in. And I think him back there with the depth, he's pretty much got inside linebacker 3 locked up. I do like, man, I thought outside Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, I thought both are having good camps, but they're going up against, backup tackles.
Right.
I like Travis Gibson. I really like what I see from him.
He was Shayne's guy.
That dude is, like you said, man, that dude is big.
He worked on his body. You talk about going back and investing in yourself. We talked about James Daniels doing that from year 1 to year 2. Tevis Gibson, we saw on the Fan Fest. He's dropping into coverage, and he looks like a different football player.
Dude, can tie his shoes without bending over. Those fucking arms are
so
long. Man.
He's a lanky guy.
He's going to be interesting. What about a Tochu? A Tochu?
Yeah, nothing that's flash for me with him. It's actually been more Travis than a Tochu. I'm just learning how to pronounce that. On my podcast,
it's like a Toshin, but a Tochu.
It's easier to say your last name.
I don't know.
Just ask me how Waldman.
Let me ask you about my boy Thomas Ives. Every time I see a highlight, this kid's working his ass off, getting open, making plays. Is he somebody that, especially out of all those receivers, there's a lot of new faces in there.
He's having a good camp. The problem is, man, he's like starting with just a complete uphill battle, and it's not really his fault. I mean, they drafted Daz Newsome. That's quickness. They brought in Goodwin. They brought in Bird. That's speed. They got Mooney. He's kind of just falling behind. And, Chris Lacey's another guy that's been making some plays out there as well.
This kid, number 82, Way.
Yeah, Jester Way.
Jester Way.
Yeah, cousin of a U.S. men's soccer standout too.
Is he?
Yeah. Can't think of his first name, but I mean, they're wide receivers, man. They're just so deep there. It's like Thomas Ives, Jester Way can have good practices. Chris Lacey, but like they're behind everyone. And I actually think
practice squad though, right?
They're practice squad.
Well, he's Ives has been on the practice squad now for 4 years.
4
years.
This will be I believe this will be his 4th.
This has to be some sort of point where I really want to see this kid. He's somebody I'm really interested in seeing because, like I said, every time I look, this guy's making a contested diving, going after the football. But again, these guys, they're very deep, to your point. That's a good thing. So it's going to be interesting.
I do like, and I guess it depends on your under the radar type guys. Yeah. I think Sam Mustipher really put on that muscle and that weight that he's talking about and got stronger. And I've noticed it, man. Like when you watch him go up against Bilal Nichols and Eddie Goldman, he's holding his own for the most part in these drills. We got to see it on Family. The pads are on, so now they're doing the pass rush. They're doing the OLDL drills, which is anyone that goes to camp, man. It's fun watching the quarterbacks. It's fun watching the wide receivers and DBs. Yeah. Watching OLDL drill, man, that is fun. When those pads are hitting and they're getting leverage and going at each other, that's fun. But yeah, as someone said here in the chat, I mean, he's worked with Olin Cruz all offseason. He called it a blessing too. And I think I really like what Mustipher's bringing.
He does look, because to me and Shayne, he looked like he was tubby.
He looks more muscular out there.
So definitely, to your perspective, that's what I want to see.
Yeah,
obviously, I'm excited about his competition, Dieter Eisland from Yale. I'm interested in seeing him. We saw a little bit of it. We saw Tunga get the better of Mustipher last night in the Braggs files. That's what we're calling them. Greg sharing those things. I got to shout out my boy Ivan and Sean Sierra from Sean and Maya. They gave me a live stream, and I was like telling Ivan, just keep it over on the offensive line. I don't want to see any of it. I get everyone wants to see Justin, but I was with you, Zach. I really want to see, because I think they don't need to sign veteran offensive tackles. We'll allow these guys to weed themselves out now in this competition and everything like that. So are you concerned like everybody else is with Tevin Jenkins and the whole situation there?
I'm concerned about the tackles in general. I don't like using the word panic.
Mhm.
I don't like back injuries, man. I something with those back injuries, especially at the O-line, in a position like that at tackle. I don't know. And actually,
they're saying that he had it previous, right? And
so that's.
camp, but then he fucking walks into training camp and he's carrying a fucking free weight.
Yeah,
you know what I
Right.
mean. So
And then he's pushing shit up a hill. Right?
Yeah.
They had a
doing
picture
sled
of
work,
this
but they couldn't
sled
see if
work
there was-
up a
yeah.
hill
Yeah.
with a back injury. Like what?
So
What is
if you
the
go
deal?
back, you look at his Oklahoma State last year, end of the season, let's say end of November, they were playing Oklahoma. He left the game with a back injury. From what I've reached out to people that covered Oklahoma State. No one really thought, okay, the back injury is going to hamper him big time. But what they told me was that's pretty much it. That's what did. When he had that back injury, it was over. No more playing. Even if he could have played, no more playing for him. He's focusing on the draft. The guy did tell me, though, he didn't think it really impacted him falling in the draft. We'll never know because Ryan Pace is never going to admit that. No one's going to come out and say that. I think it might have, man. I really think he might have had some medicals that said, hey, there's a little bit of a flag here. Careful with this back injury.
Yeah, because that was a first-round talent on tape for me.
They said it, too. The Bears
Yeah.
said he was their first-round target if they couldn't get Justin Fields.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that quote.
At 20.
At
Really?
20, yes,
Yeah.
at 20.
Now they're fucking listening to me. Listen, I'm not concerned. I'll tell you why. I reached out to somebody, and it's just they're being cautious because it's just panic.
Well, they better be.
Just
they better.
this is what you do when you know there's a history. You err on the side of caution when it doesn't matter. Of course, the reps are gonna matter, but it's not something you need to panic. And he gets out on the field Saturday or Sunday. And again, a lot of these guys, rookies coming into the league, they don't know what it is. So this could be a little motivating factor by Matt Nagy. When you heard him verbiage, we got to get other people in there. I mean, these are important reps. Other guys are going to have to step up. And, that's kind of a message to Jenkins. So listen, I don't know Jenkins, the person. Like, I don't get that opportunity. I always say that when we're doing draft rankings, too, Zach.
Yeah.
The player on tape to me is phenomenal. But the
yeah.
person could be, I got a little injury. I'm hurt. I'm not going to play. I don't.
Well,
that's up to you, the GM, and everybody to say
heard
that.
his head coach essentially come out and say it took him a while to figure it out that, you heard him come out and say that. And everybody's different. But at this point right now, I mean, listen, Chicago Bears fans are elite at one thing, and that's overreacting to every fucking incomplete pass, interception, injury, everything. I mean, to me, the Bears are doing exactly what they should. Because hey, if he's injured, you're not forcing to get him in there for Miami.
Don't play him.
Don't even fucking worry.
You're looking at the fucking Rams.
I wouldn't panic. I mean, I wouldn't hit the panic button yet. I think he's going to get back out there. But he's not going to play preseason at this point, right? I mean, there's no chance.
I think he could play
end of
week 2.
Probably
week 2.
I'd say week 2, week 3.
Yeah, maybe
week 2
get him
best
in there
case.
once. But this guy, he's so talented. This isn't Chris Williams with a serious back injury. I reached out to somebody from Oklahoma State, and they're like, no, this isn't like one of these L1s or all these discs or anything. This is something that's very they're being cautious about.
Yeah, it comes down to
that's all I could say.
If it's a fucking vertebrae issue or a disc
He wouldn't
problem,
even be.
He's not carrying a fucking free weight into fucking camp.
Yeah,
exactly. But don't push. There's no. Oh my God, we should have kept Charles Leno. Leno sucked. I would rather have a bag of donuts out there than Leno. You're fine. Seriously, we'll figure it out, as Greg said.
But
I
Zach,
know he's worried, but don't be worried.
We talked last week.
And Borum has looked very tremendous. My father's favorite tackle, Zach, in the entire draft. I'm sorry, Shayne, was Larry Borum. And I'll tell you what, on the reps he's out there playing, we break it down. We'll break it down later tonight if there's more, because I don't know what Gregg has. Borum has great feet, great size, lost the weight. He's got the temperament, so you'll be fine. It's a great opportunity, as Serpentis is saying, for Borum to get. This is only going to help your roster with. You're going to be have versatility. It didn't help that Elijah Wilkinson had COVID and now he's out. So the depth, of course, Tyrone Wheatley Jr. and yada, yada, yada. Like, people are getting nervous. But Borum, to me, this is exciting. This is a benefit. One of those things like.
This play right here. This one right here. This was 11 on 11. This is the one I had in my notebook. You did a good job on Khalil Mack right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very good job on Khalil Mack.
Yeah, and if you're doing a good job on Khalil Mack, that's saying something. There's also a play there where he recognizes the stunt, the Desai threw a blitz at him, so he pushes the guy down the line, was Bilal Nichols, and then is able to get Akeem Hicks and solidly control him. I'm like, this kid, this is a rookie in his first. We're putting the pads on for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first time they're putting on pads. Think about that, Zach. You played the game. Like, what? We'd be on pads the third day of practice, getting thuds in and getting our bodies calloused up. So
can we kick Gregg Braggs out of the fucking chat room?
Oh, what's he
saying?
doing?
If Tanner Gentry's going to be playing for the fucking Bills on Sundays. Can we just fucking stop the nonsense, Greg?
He's going to. If it happens, Shayne, he's gonna get you.
Somebody just snorted a huge mountain of coke in the fucking region, and it was Gregg Braggs. But Zach, we talked last week on here about this defensive line and the depth that they've built up. So much so to the point. Do you think that it's something that Ryan Pace looks at it? And I know, and this is considered blasphemous to a lot of people, and it would piss a lot of people off. And the name that keeps on ringing up in my head is somebody that's going to have value around the league that everybody fucking loves is number 96.
I knew it. I don't think it's going to happen. Here's why. I think they made their decision.
Okay.
I think it was Kyle Fuller or it was Akeem Hicks.
Okay.
I agree.
And I think they valued Akeem Hicks a lot more for whatever reason, because I look at these, not to go off topic, I look at these DBs and I think Jalen Johnson's good. I'm a little worried in the other two spots. The defensive line, to your point, I think the defensive line is a lot stronger. You could have, lived with losing 96 in terms of depth more than losing 23, because you had Bilal Nichols took the next step. I'm positive they knew Eddie Goldman was going to come back, or they had some sort of lean. Okay, he's likely coming back. Maybe not 100%, but
he said he regretted fucking sitting out. I mean, he did. He
I didn't get to see that interview.
He had. Don't you think he must have relayed that to them at some point? Yeah.
And if not, if it wasn't 100% in February, I'm coming back. It was I do plan on playing. And Sean Desai said it in January. I think it was January in his first press conference. He said all indications were expecting Eddie Goldman. I think you could have lived with Akeem Hicks being shipped out of here more than Kyle Fuller. Bilal Nichols, man, Eddie Goldman, Mario Edwards had a fantastic family day. I loved what I saw from him. That dude is a beast.
So underrated.
He's underrated.
That dude's a beast.
Let me say
this. All the way back to the fucking draft. Phil,
we love these guys.
Pounding
what they've done with the front seven. I mean, the front
it's
defensive
insane.
line. Yeah. You have a championship quality defense. There's no doubt. I get what you're saying. I'm excited about Kendall Vildor. He's the guy I'm most excited about, 22. Not because he wears my number, but because of the instincts I feel like this kid have and the confidence. That's going to be interesting to see. But, you're there. I'm just excited about what I saw last year. Hopefully he, continues to build off that. But, there's other guy. Michael Joseph has been out, right? So you haven't seen him. He's a guy that we've really wanted to see.
Been here forever.
31, my guy Roberson. Has he gotten any time?
He made a play at Family Fest on the sideline. He got a PBU on it. He's had a couple pass breakups. Right now, I mean, it looks like it's Trufant's job to lose early in camp. I think in the slot's going to be very, very interesting. I think without giving too much, what I can say, there's a variety of guys working in there. There's, there's kind of putting in someone like Marquis Christian's gotten some reps in there.
That's a guy I've been interested in too. He missed last year.
Yep, and he's a guy that I believe in his LA days he played. I want to say that 1 year he must have played like safety, outside corner, and nickel.
Yes,
some sort of form of that.
Yes, he did. He's a versatile defensive football player.
There's a corner on this roster that I've heard from various people in the know that the Bears are actually extremely high on, but he can't stay healthy. That's number 30, Michael Joseph.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, to me, this is where
he's out again.
Well, this is the part that drives. I don't want to say it drives me crazy, but the Bears have depth there. It's just unproven. Like like you're saying, it's a lot of young. There's a lot of young talent. I mean, Duke Shelley is another guy that's going to be, I'm sure, competing inside. But if
there's Michael Joseph there,
if we were playing this Sunday in LA,
with a Bond villain name,
who do you think? So you're saying Trufant outside, and who would be?
Yeah, it would be
Johnson and Trufant.
Jalen Trufant inside, it'd be more than likely Duke Shelley.
Yep.
I'd say in the inside. They got a lot of guys, and this is how I kind of been talking to
I'm
Aaron
going
about this.
I'm going Vildor over the veteran.
Over Trufant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vildor's got
Or they could put
potential.
Vildor in for Shelley.
I think he actually translates better into the slot. If it was just me, I think they got so many.
I like
question
those
marks.
two guys though, but to your point, there's a lot of names there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lack of talent. I just think it's all unproven.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here's how I look at it. I think they're banking on a couple things at defensive back. They're banking on career revivals from Desmond Trufant or Artie Burns, someone like Tease Tabor. Or they're banking on Kendall Vilder, Duke Shelley, Trey Roberson to really take that next step and be a surprise. It's a lot to bank on, man. That's a big risk.
Do you think that they're banking even more on the quality depth on the defensive line, making these guys' lives much easier?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, what makes it easier for defensive backs? When you can get to the quarterback, I mean, you're not on an island by yourself with Devontae Adams for 5 seconds. You're not winning that. You're not winning that with Devontae Adams for 4 seconds. You got to get pressure. They don't get pressure, they're going to be screwed. So, yeah, getting that front seven, man, would definitely help. The corners, even Jalen John, I love Jalen. I think he's a phenomenal talent, but he hasn't played a full, healthy season since, I think, early in Utah, maybe?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He's been hurt. That's what dropped him in the draft.
Yeah.
4 shoulders in his career?
Four shoulders. That's not a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, though. I do think,
What about I think Thomas Graham Jr.?
Yeah, he's gotten reps. He's played a little bit in the slot. He's behind those guys I mentioned. He's behind Vilder. He's behind Shelley. He's behind Trufant. He's kind of in that range with Michael Joseph. I'm sorry, Trey Roberson. They're kind of splitting reps a little bit.
This is why you got to follow this guy. If you're just tuning in, it's Zack Pearson, a Bear Report. Follow him at Zack_Pearson. That's Pearson. If you're listening on the podcast, Zack with a K, not a H.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Make sure you get that. Zack, you look at the safety position.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eddie changed his number, so now he's number 4. He's on the sideline where he mostly likes to tackle. So what does the safeties look like out there?
Yeah, nothing from Eddie so far. Tashawn Gibson's got a little bit of an issue. Missed the last 2 practices.
Quad. Yep.
Honestly, man, before you asked that question, I was going to bring up. I saw there was a dime comment in there about Thomas Graham. I think Deion Bush is going to be their dime defensive back. We saw him do it a little bit last year when they took out Trevathan in some sets. Bush has had a solid camp. He picked out, man, he made a hell of a play. Andy Dalton was looking at Cole Kmet down the left sideline, like 20, 25 yards. He made a hell of a play on that ball. Here's one thing I love, though, with Deion Bush and all these defensive backs. They blow the whistle. You're essentially tackled. They don't stop. They continue to run. They continue to go until they hit the other end zone, which is just a bonus kind of tidbit there that shows, hey, man, they're ready to force takeaways and bring them back. However, yeah, man, their safety, it's just going to be, can Eddie Jackson take that next step? And we haven't seen him on the field yet. And, we'll see him. I mean, he's a guy, what you want last year? He wasn't good last year. He had a little bit of a down year to his standards. He's a guy, does he really need to be out there all, the full thing? I think he's kind of earned that where he can, still be familiar with the defense and know and be fine and comfortable. Outside of Bush, man,
what about my boy DHC?
Mainly special reps, special teams guy. Yeah, I mean, he's probably got to be fourth or fifth on the depth chart.
I thought he was tremendous playing that nickel linebacker type of role. So, and Desai
when Bush was out,
There's another guy though, Zach, I'm interested in. He's stayed on the roster, not on the active roster, but Crawford, Xavier Crawford.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy. I mean, nothing that's flashed yet in training camp. I usually go back in my notebooks and I look to see if I track the PBUs, I track all the plays. Nothing that's like crazy standout. But I mean, a lot of these guys aren't getting beat. And when they're getting beat, it's Allen Robinson beating them or it's Darnell Mooney, things you expect. This defense is playing really well in general, first, second, third team. So it's not like it's when you watch them, right? And I'm not saying like if they don't stand out, it's not that they made a super play. It's just they're playing all so well that it's kind of like, well, it was just an incomplete pass, nothing spectacular out there.
It's amazing stuff because there's a lot of depth, and we usually have at this point in years past, especially on the defensive side of the ball, consistent starters. You always had Kyle Fuller. You always had Charles Tillman.
You knew what you were getting.
You knew what you were getting. Now, this is a young defensive coordinator coming in here, taking over this job. To your point, if you're just tuning in, Zach talking about, you could definitely feel the respect and the hype that the defense has for Coach Desai versus
what I always go back
Chuck
to,
Pagano.
Phil, when you're talking about that, Sam Acho talked about it, and Zach, you probably know where I'm going with this. This is before they even hired him. He's like, one guy that I'd love to see the Bears hire is Coach Desai. I don't think that they'll ever do that, but I mean, Sam is close with all these guys that are still in the fucking locker room. So that to me speaks volumes. But what you've seen, Zach, are you expecting a complete shift from what we saw with Chuck? Do you think that this is going to be just fucking go get the quarterback?
I don't think it's realistic to do 2018 again. That was just a crazy defense, in terms of takeaways and bringing them back. I think we're leaning more, if I had a meter, it'd be more towards the Vic Fangio side of it. I think it's just going to be so much different, man. I think you're going to get a little bit similar looks that what Fangio tried to do compared to Chuck Pagano. I just felt like when Chuck Pagano was out there was like nothing against him, but there was like no energy. You know what I mean? It just kind of felt like a lackluster, just okay, whatever. Going through the motions. I don't think we'll see the, 3rd and 4. We'll give him 10 yards off coverage and let him pick up his easy downs. I think he's going to try to disguise some blitzes. I think he's going to, on certain zone coverages, disguise some things. I think we're going to see a little bit more of what Vic wanted to do here. And I think actually, I was talking to someone the other day, this talent pool that the Bears have, this skill set of these players fits a lot better with Sean Desai than it does with Chuck Pagano.
Great.
And it's just going to be, man, I don't think it's going to be 2018. That's just unrealistic, but it's going to be more towards the top 10 defense, cracking top 5. I think we're going to see a lot more takeaways too. They really put an emphasis on the damn takeaways, and it's shown too.
Zach, coming up real quick before we know how Pace operates in training camp in terms of personnel and guys that are coming up. Obviously, I don't think any of us are expecting an Allen Robinson extension, but you got Roquan, you got a guy like Bilal, you got a guy like James Daniels. You think 2 of these guys get done? 1? What are you expecting?
Bilal for sure, I think, will be done. I think Akeem Hicks is the contract hit next. You can't bring him back next year. I think Bilal's the easy one to do. It's not going to cost you a ton of freaking money. He'll get a good deal, though. In terms of Roquan, I think it's in the best interest for the Bears to get it done because Darius Leonard is coming up, and Roquan's going to want to wait. He's not going to be like, yep, let's rush this thing. He's going to be like, okay, Darius Leonard got his money. Fred Wagner got his money. This is what I'm looking for. I want this money. Either way, it's going to get done. If Roquan Smith is not here for the long term, something seriously went wrong. I would say probably 1 for sure. I think it'd be Bilal Nichols would be the one that gets his deal done. I think A-Rob's gone, man. I can't see.
I see him going. I see both Roquan and Nichols coming back. You're going to have a lot of cap room, and you're going to have the opportunity to get rid of some of these contracts or restructure. So I don't see Roquan leaving. I think he's going to be he should have been a Pro Bowler last year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Crime. Hey, it saved the Bears some money, though, in that 5th year. Unfortunately, I mean, I always side with the players. I side with the players 100%. It sucks for him because you're right. He was a Pro Bowl, All-Pro. He didn't get it, and it's just, it did help the Bears a little bit.
Is there any concern about doing a deal, getting with the numbers? I mean, you can't forget his holdout. I know there was a haggle over the guarantees and stuff like that. I mean, that could be something that pushes it off down the road.
Yeah, I think he's going to ask. I think 20 is going to be the set price for him, 20 a year. As I think Leonard's going to pass Warner. I think would Warner get 18, 19 a year? I think Leonard's going to get that 21, 22, and I think Roquan will come in with that number, and the Bears will say, "Yeah, let's go 20. We'll go down to 20."
I think they're going to give him 21 because he's young and he's going to be the face of that defense.
Yeah.
Wait till you see if he stays healthy. This guy.
Well, you're talking about Desai scheming some blitzes. That's the fucking dude right there.
Desai knows. Let's use this fucking missile and close some. Jared Goff. Are you fucking kidding? Jared Goff. Boom. Jared Goff on the ground again. It's like. This defense, I'm telling you, if Andy Dalton plays the way I think he is, this Bears team is gonna be something real special this year. And a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, I said it. I always said it," but you didn't say it. You don't have a show saying it. Screenshot your dates. Receipts, whatever they call. One last thing before we let you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Bears signed Alec Ogletree. I was a huge Ogletree fan when he was coming out of Georgia.
I think they looked at him once before.
Yeah.
Before he went to the Giants.
Yeah, we were pissed.
Recently, too.
Yeah. So what do you think of him signing? Obviously, Christian Jones with the COVID thing, but really, ultimately, I got to keep it 100 here. Ian Boonaway, no, it's done 0. Josh Woods, come on. He comes in here, he's better than all of them. He's a veteran starter. And honestly, I'm just keeping it. I didn't watch his film yet because the NFL Game Pass drama is going on, guys.
That's fucking crazy.
We have to address this tonight. But
I think Gregg's videos are a lot better than the damn all 22.
You just got to get Gregg.
You haven't seen them all yet. You haven't seen them all yet, Zach.
There might be one of me and Gregg in there. He took like a video. He took a photo. He said he wanted to take a selfie with me, and then next thing you know, we're sitting there for 25 seconds, and I'm like, Gregg, what are you doing? He's like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I think. It's a depth signing, obviously. And like you said, Iggy, I mean, the only thing really Iggy and Woods brings that I think will keep them on the roster if they make the 53 would be the special teams. I think both of them play key roles on there. Ogletree's good back. I mean, if you have him and Christian Jones, your 3 and your 4, that's essentially 2 veterans.
I like that.
2 veterans behind. So like I said earlier, man, Roquan, history shows you're probably going to need an inside linebacker in one of these games because it doesn't look like Roquan or Danny Trevathan's going to stay fully healthy. I hope they are.
This this is a key, and I want to go back to this moment. You're the GM. Kevin Pierre-Louis and Danny Trevathan were free. He made the wrong fucking choice. I get
Hell,
it.
Kwiatkowski.
I thought Kevin Pierre-Louis, Shayne, that was our guy.
Yeah.
He and Roquan on the field was like a fucking track meet, and they're hitting people. And I'm like, what are you watching on the tape? That was the way to go. They kept Danny T. That's history, but obviously we can't go back.
Ogletree is still just 29 years old.
Yeah.
He's 29.
That's
I'm
great.
telling you,
been around forever. Yeah.
This guy is a ball player. Here's the story of why. Okay, one last, and then I'll let you go. Remember, Josh Woods comes in the must win against Green Bay, and he blows fucking coverages. He's lost out there, and he's terrible. So what do? They back into the playoffs, and guess who's starting against the Saints? Manti Te'o. He skips over Josh Woods. Manti's not even on the getting a shot here. Yeah. So to me, that was wrong. And that's just showing Iabunaway wasn't even an option. So that's why I'm saying Christian Jones, Ogletree, because I on past shows was getting very anxious if something happens to Roquan, God forbid, knock on wood. Now we got Woods. You're totally went from an A+ defense to like it's taking you down to C+. That's how far. If you have that shitty one mistake by those inside backers in a 3-4, you're done. So I feel good about this signing. I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, I think we'll see. If Ogletree makes the roster, you'll have him, Jones. I think they'll keep a 5th, probably a 6th. I think they'll keep both.
I think you use them as you don't want them out there.
You want their special teams, primary special teams guys.
Is there any other linebacker that you've seen there, like Flash at all?
No, I mean, Charles Snowden's played well out there.
Are they putting him inside, or is he playing
on the edge most of the time? I think I had him down as a sack. They don't do sacks.
One of the guys they were really excited
He's
about.
49, right?
I know that. Yeah,
he did have a sack, or should have been a sack.
The Patrick Johnson was a kid that they were. Isn't that his name, Patrick Johnson? From Baptist.
The first Houston Baptist player.
Baptist
in the NFL. Is it Houston or Dallas? It's Houston, right?
Yeah, I can't.
I believe it's Houston.
It's Houston. It's Houston Baptist. What's his name? Caleb
Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Yeah.
I said
no. I did have him. I actually did have. I think I had him for a PBU or pass breakup something.
Yep.
His name, because he just actually tweeted something the other day too, and I was like, just mark that guy.
I want to keep it. We got to keep an eye on that. Obviously,
that's a good practice squad guy.
You're our guy. This is Zack Pearson, Bear Report. He's going to be jumping on here, right?
Yeah.
Almost every week, we're going to get you a little update. Who's standing out? I trust Zach's eyes. He's not overly hyped on big plays are nice, and he'll keep it 100. This guy, you got to follow him. I know a lot of you already do, but again,
could you kick Larry Maier's ass if it came right down to it, Zach?
Larry's too nice of a guy to me. Larry's such a nice guy.
We don't get any dirt from Zach.
No,
Who's the biggest asshole on the fucking beat.
To be honest, man,
Mark Grody clearly pointed right at.
Who did Grody say? Me?
No. He was political about it, but he was like, "Yeah, a lot of people aren't very big fans of Dan Wiederer."
To be honest, I have no complaints with anyone. I most of the time,
Gregg Braggs on the beat, yeah.
No, I like Greg. Greg still owes me a beer from London, so
shocker.
I'll have to get that next time.
He's too busy installing a 6th TV in his living room.
Yeah, yeah. I like everyone on the beat. I think everyone is perfect, man. I think I just mind my own business at times. I kind of know my role. I'm not high up on the chain with experience, so I kind of try to learn from everyone on the beat and take things pay attention to their questions and stuff like that. But I don't think no one's really been an asshole to me.
One last question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This just came up into my head. how do they work?
That's what
Who's
she
going to
said.
ask the question in those Zoom meetings? Is it like you press a button or do you hold your hand up?
Yeah, you raise your hand in the Zoom meeting. Like,
So is there a seniority? Is there a seniority? Like, do they fucking say, no, fucking Zach's Bear Report? Let's go.
I mean, I'll say this. There was.
I don't want to get you
It
in
seems
trouble.
like Pat Finley always gets 2 fucking questions.
No, I think it was.
He does. And I have another one to follow up.
No, I mean, you also, when you have follow-ups, you have to be, a little more aggressive. I think with this, we're not doing Zoom anymore, so it's great actually.
Okay.
We're actually in there. It's cool to see the guys, but essentially when you're in there, it's just a free for all. You're just going off with your questions. Fighting. Yeah, so it's hard because if you don't speak up and you don't get your question in, you could be beat. And the player could point at this guy. As far as Zoom, I don't think they really had any favoritism. There was one time I was a little upset that in the pace of Nagy that I had a couple of good questions in their first presser at the end of the season, and I didn't get called on. But there was also a lot of people that didn't get called on. So yeah, I'll actually say this: the Zoom was great because we got to be mixed in with the out of towners. Some of the guys on the other beats, man, asked the craziest, dumbest questions. Yeah. And I hate saying this. I think everyone on the Bears beat does a good job, essentially. There was one guy that at the end of the Packers game, I forgot who he was. He said something. Was it Allen Robinson? It was someone. He goes, if you wanted a potential matchup with this team in the Super Bowl, who would you get? And I'm thinking, the Bears just got the 7th seed here. I don't know if we're gonna be talking about a Super Bowl this year. And the whoever the player was like, yeah, we're not worried about that. We're actually worried about this because they didn't know they got in. We're worried about to see if we got in the playoffs. There's moments like that it's like, you're like, what the hell is going on?
So nobody's a prima donna like Steven Johnson is what you're saying?
Yeah. No, Steven's great. I actually saw Steven the other day.
Steve is great. We got a new show with Steven on our network, One Up Fantasy, every Tuesday night with our producer, Chris Jackal.
He loves that fantasy football.
Yeah. I was listening last night. They did a good job. Second episode.
A great job.
Yeah,
they do a great job.
Jackal needs some fucking work, doesn't he, though, Phil? He's got those fake books behind him.
He's got to come in with some passion and fire. Look at it. Yeah, exactly. That's the number of times you're going to pass on Aaron Rodgers.
No, they do a really good job. I was watching last night, and Steven's passionate about fantasy football, man.
Oh my God.
Not many people know. Me and Steven had a fantasy football show 3 years ago. And it just it was hard, man.
We're in the DMs talking about you right now, Zach, Steven, and I said, do we have anything for check it out? I don't know, maybe you have it, so you could send it to me if we need to read it tonight.
What is it? It's gotta be a Steve's giving us dirt, but Shayne's actually being classy and making sure it's okay to share this dirt on you, I guess.
I don't have one for this month.
For the shaving?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've not gotten anything.
I can read the performance 4.0 from I'll do that one. Coming up right after we let go of our guest, Zack Pearson. If you're listening to the podcast, which you can on all podcasts.
I like how he called it the shaving.
That was the shaving one.
That was a solid move.
All podcast streaming, including iHeartRadio. We're on Bleacher Report, Amazon Prime. We're streaming everywhere. It's everywhere you want to be. It's Keeping It 100, the best Bears podcast on the planet, best Bears show on the planet. We had the pleasure of having Zack Pearson. Zack, thank you so much for your time.
Anytime,
you gave us over an hour and 15 minutes of Bears notes and nuggets. I'm not going to ask him one more, Eric. I'm going to let him go. He does have a baby coming on the way, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Have fucking fun with that, bro.
Almost a month away. Almost a month.
If you need to call me, because I'm Shayne's point man for therapy every day, feel free.
I'll show you a picture real quick before you
laugh.
We have to change that Facebook group chat.
Yeah,
see? There you go.
That's a fun diaper to change right there.
Oh man,
that ain't a diaper change. That's just fucking chilling.
We'll have to.
That's just their average every day.
We'll have to branch it. Maybe we'll do a dad's podcast once.
We should do a dad show.
You can do all the talking, and I'm going to sit right over here and sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting. I'm up early now anyway because of the Bears. We have to be there at a certain time.
You just wait.
I know.
That changes. I'm up early all the time too. And the best part is the rest of my family leaves tomorrow for Prague, and I'm staying home, and I have the baby for the next 10 days by myself. Man. So that's gonna be be fun.
We literally, my wife's best friend just had her first child too, and I'm good friends with her husband, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm like 4 hours of sleep in the past 2 days. And I'm like,
I'd fucking kill for 4 hours.
Here we go.
The Football Dads podcast here on TTNL. How to change a diaper and cut a promo video.
We have an update. We have an update here.
Yes. What is it?
Where is it? How come it's not going up?
What?
We'll have,
it's not going up. I can't stand your cursing. I'm out.
I can't stand your cursing.
See you later, Steven.
Bye, Steve.
We'll have Steven Johnson do the ice cream segment of the Dad's podcast.
This is for mature audiences only. We even put the that new thing. I made sure to add it for you guys. Parental. What is that thing?
Discretion is advised.
Yes, discretion is advised. Right on the thumbnail each and every week. This is an adult show. We have a lot of fun. We talk a lot about everything, but mostly the Chicago Bears. This is the Bear Report's Zack Pearson. You guys have a radio show, correct?
No, it's just what's called the Bear Report podcast radio. It's just what it was started a while ago, so we kind of kept the name. You can listen to that too. Aaron's on it with me.
We got to get Aaron and you back and come on with us together.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely.
You got Aaron's contact.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I was talking to him like before.
I got to get him to turn his video on this time. Only person in the history of TTNL that has never turned on his video.
That's going to be Christmas time trivia, Shayne.
Yeah.
Who was the only guest that didn't appear on video? I'm giving you a hint now. Warning: they're going to have some big prizes Christmas time. Hopefully, we're fighting for the playoffs right at that point, or in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll do it. Me and Aaron will hop on.
I got you.
We'll get Steven on too.
Who?
Yeah.
We'll keep him away from that fucking red button.
And broadcast. We gotta get a T-shirt for real. Could you do it for us? TTNL, like right here, and then end broadcast button right underneath it, and we just send it to Steven.
Everybody that was on that show, we're just looking at each other, and I'm like,
there was like
that motherfucker just ended the broadcast.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Draft weekend,
yeah.
What a good time. Great show. Thank you so much again.
Hey, you guys have a great rest of the show.
Yes.
Don't go too hard on Gregg.
No.
He's a nice guy.
He is.
No, I saw him the other day out there, and I caught up with him a little bit. The first time I seen him in a long time, and nice seeing him. Nice seeing people at Halas Hall.
Yeah.
Nice, hopefully seeing people at Soldier Field this year too.
We'll be down there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be down there tomorrow. I'll be there the rest
out
of the
there.
time.
Reach out to Zack while you're there. Get a little picture with him.
Say hi with me if you guys want.
Show.
Yeah, we're Team Silverman here at TTNL. Fuck Braggs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're awful, dude. All right, Zack.
All right, take it easy, guys.
God
Later.
bless you.
Later, dude.
It's so good to see you, man.
Have a good night and take care. Stay safe, too.
We will. Got to stay COVID safe. The masks are coming back. Everybody's thinking this is a political thing. I'm just trying to be healthy, guys. What's that famous saying, Chris Jackal? It's better to be safe.
Every show.
He's on mute.
Every show.
He drops the ball. Let's try it one more time. You ready? It's better to be safe
than sorry.
Look at him. Proud of you.
Fucks. Who puts me on mute to set me up for a goddamn joke, goddamn it. And for the record, Steven doesn't like swearing.
I don't know.
That wasn't
Steven.
that other guy.
It wasn't Steven Johnson.
Does anybody want to ask Caden what he thinks? Thank you.
Caden left. Caden's talking to his hot mom.
Jesus, she's put together well.
Speaking of put together well, let's do this before we go to our next segment here. Listen, it's summertime. Are you a dad bod or a six-pack kind of girl? Either way, our friends at Manscaped have the fellas' hairy bodies covered. Shit, they got Shayne and they got our next guest covered. Gregg Braggs. They just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right. The 4.0. Trim from the leaders in male grooming. So the man in your life, ladies.
Male and female.
Yes.
Yeah, the ladies can use it. You can join the 2 million men or women worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code KI100. That's Keepin It 100. Abbreviated is KI100. Listen, you want to be Manscaped? That 4.0 is here at last. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear, nose, hair trimmer. Like when I'm getting, I'm 48. I just turned 48. I got to keep it 100 with you guys. Those fucking annoying ears.
Those hard to reach places, Phil.
Yeah, those ear hairs. They are coming. So I use this thing. It's really, I had a fan, Josh E, hosting the show last week. He bought his Manscaped. He's on the market, ladies. He's like, I gotta get Manscaped.
Yes, he is, boy. He is trim and ready to roll.
His crop
Jackal was trying to air live fucking porn last week after the show.
Here, just stop. I know. No.
What?
No. We just didn't know we had secret listeners. That's all. And next thing you know, all hell broke loose.
That'll be at the end of the show. Crop Reviver Toner Performance Boxer Briefs they give you, and a travel bag. I used the travel bag. I took it down to Punta Cana.
Nice bag.
My wife was very happy. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes that lawnmower trimmer. It's sleek. It's sexy. It's the 4th generation trimmer featuring a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce those grooming accidents.
It does work.
Thanks to those advanced skin-safe technology. It's honestly a science. The Lawnmower 4.0 has 7,000 RPM motor. A new multi-function on-off switch can engage a travel lock. It gives you the ability to turn those 4,000K lights on so you can do it in the dark. That's where a lot of people like to do it. You could see all the hairs with that
Keep
light.
the lights
Turn
on.
off the light. Yeah.
Doesn't matter now, right?
Exactly. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof so you can do it in the shower? Listen, if your junk is funky, get the Lawnmower 4.0. It's the best trimmer for you and for him. Want him to take his grooming game to the next level? You get the point. The Performance Package 4.0 includes that Weed Whacker to chop those nose hairs, ear hairs. It's also waterproof. It doesn't snag. It doesn't tug. And I am promoting it because I use it. So we're not going to have or promote anything on this show that isn't performance-based. The tape doesn't lie. The Lawnmower and Manscaped 4.0 doesn't lie. Liquid formulations.
There he is.
Caden said in 6 years when he hits puberty, he's in on this.
He's hoping.
Yeah.
He's got one hair.
On top of the Manscaped, they even threw those 2 free gifts in there. The boxers and the travel bag. Bring your comfort and your boxers to another level. They even give you a ball cologne, ladies. Jesus, they're taking care of your man. You, if you're single, want to get this too. Get 20% off, free shipping with the code KI100 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with that code KI100 at Manscaped. It's hot girl summer, and we have got your man up to par with Manscaped. There you go, guys. Now, let's get on. There he is. There's Caden.
Yes,
I can't
he is.
see
you missed me.
Yes, we did miss you.
In the shadow box over there? What are you doing?
He's in Steven Johnson's. He's in Steven Johnson's room.
Turn the light on. Speaking of freaking Manscaped, holy cow.
Looks like, remember Pee Wee Herman when you just saw the floating head there in the box? That's Mecca like a high, Mecca high.
Mecca like a high, Mecca.
Good call, Shane. That was perfect.
Mecca like a high, Mecca high.
Hey, Caden, I have no part of the whole hot mom talk, just so you know.
Yeah, you missed all of it. So
unfortunately, Shane recorded it, so I'm going to get sent later. So whatever.
Well, you did a great job while I've been gone, producing and making those opens. I really enjoyed the first 40 minutes tonight. I didn't know that you put that. So you Logan Frost, I saw point out there was a double showcase of the intro, but that was on me, not on Logan, because I didn't see the open prior to the open. So it's a new thing because usually I produce the open. So to have Caden doing these graphics and stuff has been a big help here. I appreciate that. Now, without further ado, as it hits the 10:28 mark, that was the day my daughter was born, 10:28. Let's transition to this.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
What? First day of pass. Felt good to be here in Soldier Field. Time to evaporate.
First padded practice. I got some stuff to work on, but that's why it's practice. But you come out here every day with an opportunity to grow and to get better with your brothers, it's the best feeling in the world. So take advantage of it. Go Bears and bear down. Yes, sir, Skate!
First day of pass, it was a good day at work. See, I got a little bit of battle scars on me, but a good day at work.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
I hope there's hope.
The right people. I hope that is hope.
Yes, that's the calling card. We hope there's hope with this guy. You brought us some hope, Greg, yesterday. We went live. This guy, if you're listening on the podcast, this is the guy, the infamous, known throughout the world. Let me tell you this story. I'm in the airport waiting in the hottest airport to come back. You have to go through like 20 lines, check, recheck, COVID check, every kind of check. And then I meet a Bears fan, and his name is James Halas. His middle name is Halas for the Bears, and he never heard of TTNL, but he did hear of Gregg Braggs.
And fill him in on the rest of it. Fill him in on the rest of it. What did he say?
I can't remember. What did he say? I totally blanked. What else did he say?
Does this motherfucker have a family or a job?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's like, bro,
yeah, they're up there somewhere.
He's got the best wife in the world. He can go every fucking where without any hesitation. Yeah, James Halas from Queens. Shouting you out, brother.
Are you short a few bobbleheads back there?
Well, I'm short about 5 of these motherfuckers.
Oh, he sent me them, Shayne, in the mail.
I should have just sent you them all, but I knew they were all going to smash on the ground.
He's Gregg Braggs from Braggs in the Stands. He's kind of our little brother in the show world. We love this guy. We give him a hard time because we love him.
Refers to him as a cancerous tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Listen, your neighbor, she's telling us that she lives in your neighborhood, and you haven't even gone over to say hello to Angela.
I'm in a new neighborhood. I haven't met everybody yet.
Angela, put in the chat room what
some cookies.
Angela, put in the chat what state you live in.
Oh yes, Angela. What state do you? Now I did meet some people from Indiana, Greg.
If she lives in the Chicagoland area, we're close.
They raised their nose at you. She said it right there. Look, laughing my ass off, Indiana. See?
Yep.
I live in Indiana.
So Greg got the quality internet going on. Yep.
It's not me. It's you guys.
No.
Yes.
Live.
I'm on Ethernet. Ethernet.
There he is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my favorite guy. The
Mr.
lovable
Rogers. Mr. Rogers.
How art thou?
Why don't you read us all a book?
I could read you a few. I don't know if you'd understand them with your comprehension.
Actually, I very well could. Now, is there any books about Oklahoma quarterbacks back there? I want to dive into that.
Very well said, kind
Hey, let me ask you something, Jack. You always give me shit about my shirts, but I'm wondering, did you used to be like a 400-pound man? Because every shirt you wear is stretched out. Like,
it's
do you
just
have
a V-neck,
shirt?
Greg.
Well, I know it's a
V-neck.
V-neck, but it's still very loose on
This is actually a brand new shirt.
Do
It's
you not
perfectly
want?
fine.
Well, maybe
No, I
get
just
it
wear a new
one
shirt.
size smaller, or do they not? Do they not sell men's shirts in the size that you need? Maybe you
No. That was well said, though. You're so articulate. I'm glad that we're,
I
we're
actually
able to
am
put
very
this out.
articulate.
You're better just using your thumbs. That's what I'll say right now.
I'm just saying.
You put out a quality product.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. And I was gonna wear the blue shirt, but I figured I'd switch it up for you today.
If you heard what I said, I was like, this asshole didn't wear the blue shirt tonight. Like, that's what I actually said. So
I had to change it up just for you, Jack.
I appreciate you standing up for something. I like it. It's
Hey,
a good thing.
that's what I'm here for. I'm here to stand up for what's right, and that is wearing a gray shirt.
I guess so, But hey, kudos to you. You guys had a great show yesterday, and your content at the at training camp has been top notch, man. I'm telling you, man. You earned all your followers.
The show short so we could make sure you guys got your fantasy football, circle jerk in.
You're such a nice guy, Greg. I know. I'm sure you were.
I'm quality. I'm a quality guy. This is the Tape Never Lies Network, and now I am under the controls. Jackal is no longer here to bore you. Him and Cars can go off onto their boring train and bore each other to sleep. And I will be here for the rest of the night. You can just leave me here, and I'll just figure it out from here. Between Jackal with all the books behind him.
These two have been having a Twitter beef.
Jackal started it, and then now you got this other guy. Who's this other guy that looks like he's in the music video for Queen?
Yes, thunderbolts and lightning. Very,
I
very.
see a little silhouette of a man.
Producer Caden Whitlow. Listen, you and Jackal. You guys are having some beef. Shayne put you guys into the ring. That's why
I forgot to give him shit about his open too. My goodness.
You did say Mr. Rod. You stole my thing, but I like it. It is
true.
I
was bouncing off of what you said to him because I thought it was funny. And then
of course you can't come up with your own fucking shit. You got to bite on somebody else, dude. What are you, Eric Lambert Jr. for fucking crying out loud? Jesus fucking
my own
Christ.
Shit. Listen, you literally have my job now. So if you're gonna don't embarrass me
I
by
paid
doing an.
So Phil, football's back. I mean, let's give the fans what they really want. Let's just talk some football. Fuck those other guys.
Yes. They had their beef, their moment in the spotlight off the top ropes. They did some good lines there, Shayne.
Yeah,
the chat room is deciding.
It's gonna get. I mean, between both of them, they have probably at least 175 views between the both of them.
No, I saw today. One Up has 380 views today.
That's more than Braggs.
I've been doing this for 2 weeks, and I think I've got more views than Braggs. So
I had an 18-second video that has 600,000 views.
Oh,
when you guys top that. You guys got to do 4 hours.
Do you have to turn audio on that one?
I like this. You guys are working too hard for them. You can do it, buddy. You're the best. You guys are working too hard for them clicks. All you need is 18 seconds.
I'm just too busy working, Greg, and then I come on here at night,
What do you do? Stretch out shirts all day for a living?
Unfortunately, I wish I was, brother. This is a shirt that fits totally.
I forgot you're in air traffic control guy.
No.
One Up Fantasy. Robert Cook said it is very good.
I love you, Greg.
If you love fantasy, One Up Fantasy. Gregg Braggs in the stands.
Will sign that V-neck for you.
I will.
He's a professional auditor.
While I sing Oklahoma. You ever seen the play Oklahoma?
Sometimes you win some and sometimes you lose some, right, Greg?
Hey,
in the chat, let us know who got the better of who, and our first ever, which is going to be a continuing segment, I believe. Braggs versus Jackal. Braggs
I like
versus
it.
Jackal.
Don't chew gum on the fucking air, dude.
It's
what
not
are you doing,
gum.
dude?
It's not gum. It's not gum. And
what is it? An edible?
Bacon.
Listen,
no, I quit.
Smash that
that's your
like
problem.
button. You got
is it corn?
over 300.
This invention here is called the Cobb Quickie.
300 people viewing. Hit the like button.
He's frozen.
Don't be a penguin and hit the fucking down button before the show even starts. That just shows your bias. It just shows your bias. Anyway,
I think we just there he is. Now he's back.
there he is. Gregg Braggs.
Not me, it's you guys.
No,
it's
feed
definitely
sucks.
you.
You're all blurry.
It's okay. We got you covered tonight.
Can you ask Jenny if she paid the internet bill?
Jenny! Jenny! Meatloaf!
Listen, Angela lives in your neighborhood. Huge fan of TTNL. I think that's a sign. So but because she probably knows where you are, maybe she should go over with some brownies or whatever for Gregg. And then you guys could meet up and extend the TTNL family. My boy Bullets can decide who won, like the breakdancing battles. I always was like, who the fuck's deciding? The crowd. If
Rastafarian, tweet that out. I'll give you tweet of the week.
It's no rivalry like me and Cars. And the back and forth just isn't the same unless it's me and Shayne. The rivalry's Cars, but the
rivalry shows up and Cars isn't here.
Rivalry
coincidence?
It's not a coincidence. He's scared of me.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe we should get to football.
Yes.
Let's get to football.
Listen, last night, if you didn't tune in to Braggs in the Stands, TTNL, The Tape Never Lies crossover show, where we broke down Gregg's real tremendous talent for all his faults. And believe me, Jenny and Barb have a longer list than Shayne or Cars.
Cars is back.
There he is.
Love that guy.
Hey, what are you doing? Get in here. We're breaking down tape. He doesn't know how. It's okay.
Cars has officially said, I refuse to come on tonight.
I don't blame
because
him.
Gregg is going to be.
He's out of his depth here, is really what it is.
But
that's a fill line to
get back
Peter Bukowski.
Yeah. Remember that, Peter? You're out of your depth here. When he didn't understand the read option RPO different. Anyway, we're going here. Yesterday, Gregg does have this is how I first met him. If you didn't tune into the show yesterday, when I went on a mini rant about the Bears not allowing enough fans in live streaming, a lot of it has to do with this guy because of his 12 seconds or whatever 18-second videos that go viral. He has that talent. He's in the right place at the right time. That says a lot about a person. I'm sorry. And that's how I found Gregg. And the true story, because Aldo doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, I believed in Gregg, as Gregg will tell you. And I said, this kid has a personality. He's lovable and he's funny. And I just saw something in him beyond the ability to capture something. And sure enough, you were on Bears Hour Live back then as the moderator. You were my first moderator.
That's right.
Or second moderator. I'm sorry.
I do have to give
my first choice of moderator.
I do have to give Gregg credit.
Yes.
He texted me before the show.
Yeah.
He's like, he didn't even say that. He said, hey, football's back. I'm super excited. I've been on a couple of shows.
Oh, here we go.
They're nothing like TTNL. The quality, the people, they're nothing like coming on.
Yeah, that's why I love
TTNL
about this
Network.
guy. He keeps it 100. He does.
And I said, I appreciate that, Gregg. And he's like, no, I want you to know I'm being honest. I love your
Gregg.
show.
I wish you sent me that.
Don't really want to go on these other shows, but you know, I'm just trying to be nice.
Got to keep the troops entertained.
Yeah.
But I want to say this one last thing about Gregg, and then say whatever it is you want about Gregg or whatever. He captures the moment, and there is a talent there that is shown. And let me just say this last piece of this. Fans all around the world need Gregg Braggs. They need Gregg Braggs because the Chicago Bears have dropped the ball. The Chicago Bears have dropped the ball because they're not allowing the fan from California or Connecticut or upstate New York or wherever to go there and capture what it is in shorts and pads and just love this football team so much that they share this on social media. And then the hypocrisy is the NFL picks up Gregg's quality video and so many fucking trolls that won't give Gregg the proper credit. I can count down. I was seeing on Instagram. I go, oh my God, that's Gregg's video. And they don't even put his name in it.
Just go look at YouTube. It's everywhere.
It's fucking ridiculous. Give him the credit he deserves. Yeah. But also at the same time, appreciate the fact that he captured that moment, shared it. And I'm telling you, Gregg, am I lying to you? That's how we first met. Because I appreciated you. I didn't take your shit, say it's mine. I said, wow, this guy gets it and you're in the right place. That's keeping it 100, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's absolutely how we met. 2018, it all started to take off. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of people that would follow my Instagram back in the early 2010s because I used to share stuff just on there to like Brandon Marshall when he first got there and things like that. And then I finally learned that if you put it on Twitter, Instagram's your house, but Twitter is where you can go to other people's door and knock on their doors. And so I learned once you put it on there, it can spread a lot faster because other people can share. On Instagram, you can't share. You can just hit a like and that's it. You move on for your day. Somebody retweets something, especially with a bigger account, and that's how it takes off. It's really not that difficult of a math equation. And then it's just about finding the right moments. For me, it's always as much as possible. And then you eventually will find that moment, as long as you're trying to, continue to, chip away and capture every single thing that's happening as fast as you can. In training camp, there's a lot going on. So you can miss stuff. There was a fight at Family Fest that I missed during the defensive line, offensive line, one-on-one drills. So, that's what it's all about, is just trying to keep on your toes and wait for those moments, anticipate those moments. And yeah, after, years of going to all these different sporting events and just being passionate about it, I've learned to kind of know when they're coming. So, and I know that fans appreciate it. So I always try to
read that right there, Gregg.
What
have you heard that from anybody?
My boy Vito.
I don't give a shit. I'm just doing this. I'm not, I can only go so far with this. I get I should be doing a lot of different things, try to be more polished, more professional. But at the end of the day, I actually do have a job. I lay brick, and I actually do have a family and a daughter, and we actually do spend time together. So I can only do, what you see on social media is only half of my life. I know it seems like it's all of my life because that's all I post.
Yeah, half of it's the Bears, half of it's the Cubs.
Exactly right. No, the Cubs just fell off. Yeah. They just fell off my timeshare. So now the family gets more percentage back.
Country music festivals. My wife even looked at me. She's like, damn, Gregg is at every event.
That's right.
Yeah.
He'll be at
making up for lost time, especially after last year. I mean, so yeah, hey, work hard, play hard. That's my motto in life.
You only get one life, Gregg. And
that's right.
You do live by that. Shayne has not met you. I've been around you twice now. Is it twice or 3 times? I think.
I'm looking forward to meeting Shayne and strangling him to death, and then.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Into the TTNL breaking news desk. Major breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Phil Atoshin, Gregg Braggs are going to stop jerking each other off, and we're going to talk some fucking football.
Oh, there you go.
How does that sound, guys?
There we go.
Oh, my God. Phil, what?
This invention here is called the Cobb Quickie. Hands down.
I'm ready.
Greg,
I'm ready.
I'm keeping it 100.
Look at these guys. Look at
this. What are these?
Look at this. We could pause it tonight because Shayne has done his due diligence.
You will see a little blurriness and some quirks in the
Gregg didn't do his
raw
homework.
video. I mean, he did have 24 hours notice who I was dealing with last night, but
he was on the social media.
He's got a job. He's got a job. He's got a job that he's got to show up 8 hours to. It's fucking crazy. But anyways, here we go. Let's roll this.
Well, before we do, look at the kick step right there out of Borum. You know, we're going to get into football here. Obviously, it's jumping, but I want to shout out prayers up to our guy Berlissimo across the pond.
Yes.
I know he's in the hospital.
My bunk buddy.
Our guy on TTNL. Greg's bunk buddy. There's a hell of a story behind that, but I think he went. He had to sleep, but I wanted to send that out before he left, but we were in too deep. That was a good movie too, with Zack Pearson. But here we go. For those of you listening on the podcast version, you're missing out here because we are in empty sets on second down. You see the second down. This is Gregg Braggs footage. Gregg getting in the right spot. Look at him zoom out to give the right angle for us. And here is Andy Dalton hitting Marquise Goodwin on second down. Marquise on the comeback route, empty set. And again, you're seeing Marquise come back, that quick twitchiness, Gregg, that he has coming out of those breaks is obvious, apparent. You've been at camp a couple times. Is he someone that you've been really excited about?
Yeah, Marquise Goodwin is definitely one of the standouts at camp so far. Again, yesterday was the first day of padded practice. So, nothing to, throw a ticker tape parade about, but especially when you're only in shells, speed is the one thing that will stand out, and Marquise Goodwin has no shortage of that. So, certainly when they're trying to play one-on-one, man to man, he's a guy that is always going to get separation, and then it's just about getting the ball in his hands. And once you do, there was a play on Saturday's practice where Deion Bush and him, he caught it right in front of him, and then it was a foot race from the right side of the field to the left side to the corner of the end zone, and he left Deion Bush in his tracks. It was nothing for him, and it's just like, wow, okay, this is a guy that's definitely going to make plays this year.
Yeah, you saw a clear showcase of Ryan Pace obviously talking to Matt Nagy about what they needed, and this is really what we talked about last night. Shayne bringing it up about being able to put number 12 in the slot where he's going to be able to do his work because he'll have a two-way go, and at a bigger receiver who's very adept at running great routes. I believe Allen Robinson is going to have a huge year because of what Mooney and Goodwin bring to the table. I say those two. A lot of people talk about Demarius Byrd, but I'm telling you, Goodwin is my guy. And Darnell Mooney, I just think, is going to be special this year. This offense with those three alone, those three names at receiver excite you. And this is a lot of depth here. You heard me asking about, if you listen to the Zack Pearson at the top of the show about the receivers, there's a lot of talent here. There might not be household names, right, Shayne? But there's a lot of talent, almost like the secondary. There's a lot of young talent. Another guy that I'm pulling for is Thomas Ives, to see him I believe, what number is he wearing? 19, right? Like
19. Yep.
Tanner Gentry.
Stick to the tag tape before we start arguing again.
Played on Sundays in Buffalo.
I think he will.
With the Argonauts on Sunday down in Buffalo this year. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna roll this. Somebody asked who number 13 is. That's Adams.
Rodney Adams.
Yeah,
Rodney Adams had the big deep ball catch.
Yep.
We broke that down yesterday. Anyway, yes, I thought Larry Borum on the first play might have been early. Here they're going read option, the Matt Nagy special. Let's go. Bring the motion. And then all come up. We're on to another play. Okay. Action. 7-step off the action. There he is hitting number 17. That is Rodney. What's his name? Rodney Adams, Shayne?
Yeah,
number
Rodney
17.
Adams, number 13.
No, 17. What's his name? Hardy? I always forget number 17.
No. Hardy's number 6. 17 is Lacey.
Lacey. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got to get these receivers
I'm telling
under
you, it's
control.
hard to keep them keep track of them. And then you have
they
wins
cut
change
2
to
of them.
15, and it's just
Wins changed to 15 from 83. You got Goodwin 84. Kid Lacey's 13.
Nope, Adams is 13. Lacey is 17.
Okay, so see, we were opposite.
Freaking Jesse James is 18.
Jesse James is a guy
Right.
that's been standing out at tight end. He's number 18.
Hardy is 6. Justin Hardy's number 6.
I don't like the new thing of any player can wear any number they want. I don't like that. I'm used to
It's not any number, but I mean they just expanded it. They can go like wide receivers can go single digits.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Running backs could be single. Quarterbacks obviously could be single. They've always been able to be. Can a linebacker wear a single digit?
No.
Okay. But
No.
defensive backs can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're and safety, obviously.
Yeah, Eddie's number 4.
Eddie's wearing number 4. So there you go.
Which actually I think number 4 looks pretty dope.
Yeah,
he was
that was
at
one of my
Alabama.
favorite numbers.
Yep.
Number 4.
And it will be interesting to see how some quarterbacks adjust to that, because you heard Tom Brady complaining that he didn't like that rule because that's how he identifies guys on the field. You know, he reads their numbers. So I wonder how many quarterbacks do that.
Get over it once you study the tape. Okay. Number 4 is the Bears free safety. So, yeah, this is a tough wide receiver group, the toughest I've ever had to cover because of the cuts that they made, the trade of Anthony Miller, and then these signings and the new number switches.
Yeah, Ryan Pace is on Hogan Johnson. He talked about it himself. He said it's going to be a real chore this year during cutdown because there's going to be quality guys. And that's why I think you're going to see trades. You know, it's not going to be big trades, but it's going to be, you know, like for a conditional 6th, or you'll see the pick flops, you know, it'll be a guy and a 7th for a 6th, or, you know, something similar to that, because there's this roster, as most people I think would agree, it's underrated. This is not a bad roster at all. There's actually quite a bit of talent.
I agree. I look at it. If you're using the personnel correctly, you have an opportunity here. And I think a lot of people are waiting for Justin Fields, but they sleep on Andy Dalton's ability. Like, we haven't had an Andy Dalton in Chicago. Like an Eric Kramer or Josh McCown type of football. They're really solid quarterbacks. You haven't had that. You've had an immense talent in Jay Cutler, but he had the I don't give a fuck attitude. So you've never coached the game, or if you've never played it, you don't realize how hard that is to be able to get ready on Sundays and have everybody looking up to that person and be ready to play for that person if you have that negative attitude. Just think when you recognize your child acting a certain way. It's the same thing. In football, you can't have that. So if you have someone that's coming in there prepared, that has good talent, like Mike Glennon, I'm coming in there every day early. Mitch Trubisky, I'm coming there every day early. But if they don't have the right attitude, I don't give a fuck. You can get there at 2 a.m. It ain't gonna matter.
Right.
You got to have the right, consistent attitude, and I think Andy does have it.
Let's start ripping through some of these plays because we have a bunch of them that we want to get through. You know, listeners want to see and listen to us talk about, but we're pushing 11 o'clock here, and we have 20 plus plays.
Guys. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so let's go.
Here we go. Trips motioning with Way, and it's the same play. The number 17 there. He hits off the action. You like how he turns his back, and this is Justin Fields at quarterback. Now he's in empty. Great job that's Tyrone Wheatley Jr. against Snowden to the right tackle.
Got his hands up, though.
Yeah, he got his hands up. Yep. But I like how Wheatley kind of impressed me. He's going to be interesting to see how Wheatley Jr. handles himself at that. You're seeing younger players get an opportunity at the tackle position.
Yeah.
He's somebody that
some of these guys just need a chance, right?
Just need a chance. Let's see what he's doing here. This is 7-on-7 now. So you got Andy coaching.
So this was a moment, and I don't know if you can rewind it, but David Montgomery got visibly frustrated with Andy Dalton on this play. I mean, it wasn't like
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy, but they certainly seemed like they weren't on the same page. And David kind of shrugged his shoulders at one point, was just like he was like almost sick of the coach him up that Dalton was giving to him. I just thought the reason I had put it on Twitter, I just thought it was something of note, just the way his mannerisms were. And then they got set, and then they just did a little quick throw. But it just the way, I don't know, whatever it was.
Grabbing his chest. So
yeah, because the motion wasn't right, and they could not get on the same page. And Montgomery at one point was just like sick of it. Whatever Dalton kept saying to him, he was just like done with it for a second. And I just thought it was interesting, was why I captured that.
Well, what he's doing here, Andy puts him back to his right side because he's going to run the flare in motion, which is a Matt Nagy special. So those of you listening at home, when you're putting a running back to your right side, it looks like protection, and then he's coming in motion, but then automatically becomes that flare route. So Andy wanted him on the right side so he can go to the left side. So I believe, as much as I love David, Andy's in the right there based on that play. And then he hits the slant, Shayne. Something we haven't seen. Right? We see the slant. Here's Justin over the middle, threading the needle. Was that knocked out by our guy? Marquis?
Yeah, it was certainly. I thought he caught it, and it was just. I just love how he just pumps it in there, And then this was back to back, two plays in a row.
This is to Javon Wims. Right. Pull it back a little bit. You'll see it here. Again, this is 7-on-7. So you see that. Pause it on his throwing motion, Shayne. Watch it. See that big windup?
Yeah.
But it doesn't deter the velocity.
No.
See it right there. Perfect pause there. You'll see it. Oh, no, it's fine. But you'll see it. I believe the viewers, if you're watching at home, you see the big round. There it is.
That's the
right
Carson
there.
Wentz wind up. Yeah.
There you go with the wind up. But the thing about it is watch the velocity on the football as he throws the comeback to Javon Wims.
His release, even with that, is quicker right now than it was in his college career. He's got it just a little bit more compact, but that right there, you have to be very, very cognizant of the blindside rusher coming. I mean, he sees that, and
the ball knocked out.
That ball's going to be knocked out.
Yeah, we talked about this on our TTNL X's with the O's. My father was saying, you don't want to change this. This kid has been throwing like this forever. It gets there, and you see the velocity, and I happen to agree with him here. Watch it now. Just play it from there. Watch the speed come out. He drives on that football, delivers it right to his chest.
We played a clip last night. It was very similar, but Andy Dalton was in there. It was a similar pass, but it was on the opposite side of the field, and it ended up getting picked off. And this speaks to what you're talking about, Phil. Even with that, I don't even want to call it a funky release, but he's got
a wind up.
Yeah, it's very Carson Wentz like. He's got the elongated base, and he's got the elbow out, and then he drops the ball down. But within that, it's compact, and he gets it out, and then he's got the arm strength on top of it to get it there. Whereas Andy Dalton's going to struggle a little bit more.
Well, and also with the pick that you're referencing, sorry, Phil, to cut you off, but he was, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but the pick by Jalen Johnson, he was late getting it over to him. Yep. The break had already happened, and that's why Jalen was able to jump it. And whereas Justin, while his windup might be longer, he's trusting the break and getting it out of his hands when he's supposed to before the break actually occurs, and then the receiver's able to get it on time.
Listen, pause it right there before he throws. Yeah, he doesn't do it on all his throws. This is something we see over and over in our tape study that we do at TTNL. When he's in the pocket, he has the elongated base stride and a windup. When he's rolling out of the pocket, he's fucking delivering from his ear. Boom, boom. And that's okay. That's what we're telling you. it's something to be cognizant of as we watched this. We don't fucking cherry pick here. I didn't have a shtick. I'm never going to accept average to be okay. And if we see something that is a coaching issue that's going unnoticed, whether it be the quarterback, offense, left tackle, or middle linebacker, whatever it is, we're going to address it. That's what we did. And to Ivan's point, my boy, this kid played baseball. So yeah, some of those habits, the muscle memory habits, leak into other performances. It's just humankind. And the velocity, to Shayne's point, when you're coaching this, you got to be careful. You know, Gregg learned how to ride a bike on training wheels. I didn't have any training wheels. So the way I learned was different than him. How he transitions to riding a bike, 10 speed, BMX, whatever it is.
I just had Jenny pedal on a bicycle built for two.
Exactly. Your muscle memory transitions. So if you have a very strong arm, which this guy does, versus Carson Wentz, Shayne, I would say Justin Fields has a better arm than Carson does.
I also need a little credit on this upcoming video. You see the hoop in the front of the video? This is a kid waving some crap in front of me, and I did not push him out of the way.
Push him, Gregg.
I allowed him to just continue to wave whatever it was. I did not shove him. Maybe I did right there. I can't remember.
You got Artavis Pierce in the backfield.
Phil, speak on this to somebody that may not know. What, as a coach, you see the coach out there snapping the ball. Why not have a center out there giving him the snap?
I always told my center, I want you out there on 7.
That's what I mean.
That's because they're doing drills on the other side of the field with the offensive line.
It's a rep. It's a rep with
I would get the
quarterback.
third string center out there getting snaps, even if he wasn't going to make it, because I want him getting reps, but I also want the quarterback having a simulated snap. I agree with you, but to Gregg's point, sometimes everything, you got to have a plan.
But I mean, even to that point, you can give.
But if they're doing
your
emergency
snapper can. Anybody.
I agree with you.
Yeah, these count.
I agree with you. But if they're doing drills down there, to what Gregg's saying, then obviously that's going to take priority than you snapping on 7-7. But I always, to your point, listen, a center goes down, especially in high school, you got to have someone ready. Same if they're the NFL. You know, Alex Bars, is he third string? Put him out there, get the snap. It's a good coaching point. Something to think about. Here he is again, hitting Javon Wims on a curl route.
Yeah, it's nice to have a 15 out there that can catch.
Hey,
Josh Bellamy couldn't catch, Shayne?
He double clutched almost everything.
Our father, every time the ball was thrown.
I think he's in prison now, right? Isn't he in prison?
Gregg's boy.
No, he's not. He's living the good life in Florida. He probably had to pay a fine. That's what rich people do. So
Brandon Marshall caught the ball.
This is going to be Bilal Nichols. This is the one moment I captured on a one-on-one. Right prior to this play, Tonga had actually blew up somebody, and I was really frustrated that I missed it. So then I wanted to capture the next guy.
Can you do that? Because you might be there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but I can't do video.
But you could do it for us so we could see it.
Are we?
Just videotape the offensive and defensive line for us, bro. We're not going to put it on Instagram and shit. We'll use it in other ways. Thank you, Gregg. You're such a great man.
This reverse function sucks on here.
Yeah, it does.
I was going to say it's jumping.
So if we replay this, are we just going to dismiss Mario Edwards' little dance routine there during that snap?
Let's see it.
Nobody else saw that, but
look at that rush against
on Cody Whitehair too.
Cody Whitehair. Mario celebrating with him afterwards. Bilal Nichols, man, you know how I felt about him coming out of the draft. This guy is something, and get him one-on-one. Cody Whitehair is a good.
Do you see anybody right there to the right of the coach? Number 76.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there he is. Just Trevin Jenkins. And 74.
If they were
Pro Bowl possible.
If they were super concerned about his back, he's
Why
not
is no
even
one
out
talking
there.
about Ifedi not being out there? Right? This is a guy that Juan
Castillo
said
put a
he's
lot
going to be
on
a
him.
Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And he's not out there. So everything, don't panic on nothing. Trust me. We're already better. We're better with Borum than we ever were with Charles Leno. And he was a Delaware hen.
Here's the play
Not
we were
a
talking
Terp,
about.
my boy, Irish Rastafarian.
Phil, speak as a coach watching Andy Dalton on that play. You know, it's
here we go.
There's
Let's
obviously no pressure. What, as a coaching point, what are you pointing out here that this is getting? I mean, honestly, this ball shouldn't be picked off against what you're facing here.
Right. You're in 7-7.
Right.
So I didn't see the play yet. So let me look at it. 7-on-7. You're getting a shotgun. Back releases late. You're coming way late. Way late. You're just, listen, this is where the social media and all of these fucking Eric Lamberts and company, especially the Bears blog, who flip-flopped, and now all of a sudden Justin Fields is fucking Friendly's ice cream sundae on your birthday when you said you didn't want anything to do with the guy prior to the draft. I don't know how people get away with that and you listen to them, but hey, that's just me. That right there is me saying, listen, throw the fucking ball because I want the receiver to understand how to attack the football in contact. I don't care. Every rep I want thrown. If you throw 3 picks, let the media do their dumb shit. I don't care. I want the defensive back work. This is exactly where interceptions don't even matter. They don't matter. So you want your quarterback, especially in 7-on-7, especially in 7-on-7. You want them to challenge the secondary and the receivers, and that's what that was. It's way late because no one's open, so you throw the ball and you see if the receiver wants it or the defensive back. And there, Jalen Johnson got a rep. So guess what? Thank you, Shayne, for bringing this up because it gets me so fired up. Guess what? Week 3, that situation happens, and Jalen Johnson reflects back, no matter what you fucking try to say, to that moment and has the confidence to go attack it instead of wait on it or rip into it. Hey, I picked this. You build that shit.
And if he knocks the ball up in the air, hopefully he doesn't start celebrating and he looks for the ball and picks it off.
Yes. I hope he does. Where's Gary? We hope there's hope.
Let's roll this one here.
Here's a blitz, and he delivers a strike. Now look at the throwing
That's my
angle.
favorite throw of the day from Justin, besides the touchdown, obviously.
He changes the throwing angle. He's going to throw it off kilter because there's a linebacker there. See it? So there's no wind up there. And there's no same motion. It's right by his ear. Watch. Let it go. Right over the top, on the money. And that is showing me that I've had years of playing the quarterback position and I'm an athlete and I could throw the football accurately. That was throwing it in a window. Obviously, the linebacker ducks down, but you see him.
Yeah, you watch Josh. You watch Josh Woods, and this goes back to what Phil was talking about. I mean, we've interviewed Josh multiple times, great guy, but you watch his reaction after Justin Fields threads this in there, and it tells you a whole lot.
Yeah, watch this.
Watch Boom. 55. He knows he missed an opportunity there, but that is the separator with a guy that has an elite arm talent like Justin
There's
Fields.
Hope, guys.
These launch angles and this arm strength.
There is.
You may not think that matters here in a 7-on-7, and it's going to translate over.
You're not getting this kind of coverage anywhere. Thank you, Gregg Braggs, for giving us, as I say, the paints. Because right there, Gregg, you saw earlier the windup that Shayne is showing you. There, it was different. Right from his ear hole, boom, driving and being accurately what you called your favorite throw from Justin Fields, even more so than the deep ball. You're recognizing that he felt the pressure. He simulated that rep. That's I really recognize that because you saw the blitz there and you saw the linebacker go down. Why did he do that? He prepared himself as if that he was going to get hit. So he threw it from that place. And we have
also
never
the coaches simulating throwing different things at him.
This is the point here that he brings up. Are these blitzes specifically designed to give alteration? And this is what you're going to see when Miami comes into town. And this is where these inter-squad practices are actually sometimes more important than preseason games.
Always more important.
Because you can script them exactly what you want.
Here's his
both
weakness.
Sides of the ball. Yeah.
Here's his weakness, Shayne. I go over to Coach Shayne and I say, listen, we talk. Listen, I need 2 monster blitzes here. I want double A guy. He's having a really tough time getting under center and getting out of there with 2 men in the guy. I want that. So that defensive coordinator or the coach says, listen, we got to give him that look. All right, we're going to give you that. You give us this. That's how you do it because you've self-scouted. You know where these improvements need to be. Send the blitzes. I want my guys to struggle. I want to teach. You can't go out there, all right, we did everything great. You want to put them in bad situations so you can teach them. So to Shayne's point, you have my father on. He'll be on again this week. What's more important, the scrimmage or those inter-squad practices? Because you could focus in on those one-on-one reps and all of the things you want to see. Is Tonga going to be that guy? Yeah, look at him. Threading that needle. There's number 13 again. Got to keep an eye on this kid. 13. Here we go. Shotgun. Again, Fields, 5-step, double pumps.
That was the almost pick. Something I've learned
from
the
linebacker there?
From the Mitch days. No, I think they dropped someone.
Is that Vorders?
Yeah, 93, I believe it was.
Yeah, they dropped like a DN. I wasn't sure because it's 7-on-7s, but
he's trying to go to that deep comeback. Vorders drops into coverage because guess what? Want to see the coaching point here? Go back, Shayne. Watch the route. The guy who's doing the shallow route here. I think it's just jogging by Mr. 81. So that allows Vorders to get depth. So if you're jogging and not sprinting that route, that fucking linebacker is just going to get depth. You have to sprint your route, 81.
Well, and could that have caused the double clutch with Fields expecting him to be out there farther?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that affects the whole play.
JP Holtz.
Yeah.
Jogging. Listen, you only get certain amounts. You better fucking sprint. And if Steven doesn't like me swearing, he better go watch another show.
He's obviously new because Jesus.
Here we go. Straight same play.
Yeah.
You saw the double clutch. You're allowing that defender to get in that area. That would be my coaching point there. I'm okay with Justin. Let's watch Larry Borum here at left tackle versus Khalil Mack. Look, Khalil does the patented. I'm going to press outside. You got Andy Dalton, and then look at Borum. He's recovering.
This is when they started doing 11-on-11s, but it was simulated, not where they go back to the same line of scrimmage. They were doing down and distance and moving the ball down the field. So this was actually a 3rd down throw.
You just watch Khalil Mack on this rep, Phil. When he goes inside and you watch how he gets small and then just shoots through there. Yes, I understand it's a 5th-round rookie playing, probably out of position, doesn't have a lot of reps there. But, man, this is when you talk about a guy, it's just I could watch this all fucking day long. Watch him
press
Mack.
Outside. He's going to press his upfield shoulder and get him square. And then he's like a salsa dancer.
Yeah, you can't
make that stuff up.
It's like the guy in X-Men that can turn into water.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody hates on this guy.
He's got his hand up too. That's
a great catch there. And look at Andy Dalton. Go back one more time. Andy Dalton changing and stepping over the top, delivering. Watch him. Then we could over the top. Look at him strike through. I love it. Throwing the slant to the hands. There's tight coverage there. That's what he could do. Now, I would say Borum got beat there, but recovered, like held his own on a 3-step. But Khalil Mack is just, you pointed it out perfectly. I can go through that one play, each guy, but we don't have that. I think we got to do it the Gregg Braggs way because of this choppiness, how he loaded each play, right? You did that, Greg, last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that worked better than this because the
breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network breaking news.
This is actual NFL news and very, very big NFL news. According to a source, Chris Trapasso is reporting talks are heating up between the Philadelphia Eagles and Houston Texans on a Deshaun Watson trade.
Wow.
Still some hurdles to get over, but both sides are attempting to come to an agreement. Something that, Philly's making this move because I think they had this in mind the entire time. I mean, Hurts is a guy that can go to Houston to give them another young signal caller. That's what they do. And Philly potentially has 3 first-round picks in the 2022 draft. Depending on what happens with Indy, so they can literally give them the 3 picks in one draft and move on.
There has been such a silence.
Yep.
Of Deshaun Watson and that clear black cloud that's over his head with the masseuses. How do you say massage therapists? However, we're gonna call them the masseuses. The masseuses.
And that we have to shout out our boy Cars for sending that tweet my way to share on here. But that's
HL.
Does anybody move around with quarterbacks like the Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
Oh no. And
they always love
HL Priest had in there that they don't want Hurts. If they don't want Jalen Hurts to try out there, then they're moronic. I mean, you 100%.
Do you think Hurts is in the trade to Houston?
If I'm Houston, I'm getting Jalen Hurts back in that.
I totally
absolutely
agree with you.
Yeah,
this is very interesting, man.
Yeah, they drafted Davis Mills in the 3rd round this year, and I mean, come on, you have to. Now, the thing about it is where Philly will probably do it. Who knows if Deshaun is even going to be playing this year? How that's all gonna play out.
Jackal's thinking. I didn't hear about this interview, Chris. So update us real quick. Yeah. There was an interview.
Yeah, they were talking about the interview with a masseuse the other day. I heard it on another show talking about how it was pretty damning. It wasn't like this was going to be going away anytime soon. So I don't even know how he even sees the field, honestly.
Yeah,
Greg, what's your thoughts, Greg? Do you think
right now anyway?
On the field? I know you have a big war with Jackal, but do you agree with him?
I love Gregg Braggs.
Yes, we are the best of friends. No, everything that's come out is not pretty, but we've seen plenty of times where players have these kind of stories, and unless charges are actually filed and he gets found guilty, a lot of times these guys will make it through these kind of things, so it's his word against hers, and it's not pretty, but we see this time and again in sports. So
that's what somebody put on Twitter as a response to it. He talked about the hurdles that they have to get over, and it says, what hurdles? Yeah. Oh, you mean the 20 sexual assault charges or allegations?
Well, it's to Adeptus's point. You would think, you had the look back real quick in the history. You had Adrian Peterson with the freaking, what was it? The
Yeah,
lashes?
but have they though? Have they done their investigation? Wouldn't they come out and say that?
No, they have been doing it. They said they did it.
I know, but based on his comment, it sounds like it's been completed. You know what I mean?
Oh, but by the way he worded it, I don't know if it's been completed. I don't, but I know they have said they've been doing their investigation. So, but the season's about to start. So, do you trade for him just for this season because you know the legal war is going to be? I mean, it is a risk. Look what the Colts did. They fucking traded.
Well, and Philly has always been known to go after these deals when value, their value
Michael
is at
Vick.
a low point. Yeah.
Hayden Whitlock, our producer, getting a line in there. He's going to be in the longest yard. That was pretty good, Caden. 18 years old. No, go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's what Philadelphia has always been known for, to pounce when value is low. And I mean,
buy low.
Who knows? Maybe they're going to roll with Jalen Hurts this year, and they're playing the long game with Deshaun, and figure at some point he's going to be back. I mean, what is he? 20? Is he even 26 years old yet?
No, I believe he's 25 years old. I could be wrong though. Caden, check how old he is. Deshaun Watson. Do a quick search on that. But
20,
that
25.
25. Yeah. So thank you, Caden.
How old's your mother?
Fucking Christ.
Maybe not the segment for that joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, Shane.
She's not a masseuse, Shane. She's not a masseuse.
Do we know that for sure?
I'm just according to sources.
Okay.
He'll be 26 next month. My boy AGM Productions, RBLX. Give him. He's been active tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what up to my boy Michael Kinder in a quick shout out all the way over in Japan. I mean,
if he wasn't going to be fined $50,000 a day, I think he wouldn't even be in Texas right now. I think,
I don't know.
That's $250,000 every 5 days.
Before we move on from this, Shane, you're the Philadelphia Eagles.
Shane's laughing at something over there.
Yeah, Bullets just sent me a fuck. I'm not even sure if I could put that. Maybe I should.
Oh boy.
Oh, I love Bullets.
Bullets is great.
He's one of the best people. He sent me an anniversary gift, this dude.
Yeah, so I mean, to that being said, though, this whole thing with Deshaun Watson started how long ago? I mean, it's been ongoing for
way before everybody we all wanted to trade for.
After
let's be honest. And
thank you.
There was the words out there. Chicago was monitored that they were going after Deshaun before Russell. He wasn't their target. It was always Deshaun.
Yeah, let's look back at that real quick. Yeah. It was totally going to be Deshaun. Pace was going to have to eat egg on his face because he passed on him, and we were going to talk about that all offseason. Like, holy shit!
All right, I'm going to share this, but this is not from me.
Okay? Maybe we shouldn't share it. Then.
This is from Bullet. It's fucking funny. Don't get me wrong.
It's funny.
Oh, we'll decide if we'll kill the messenger.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good point, Greg.
I guarantee you, everybody will laugh, but it's pretty fucking bad.
Oh no! I think we should not.
Deshaun, you got to remove Deshaun Watson.
Oh my god!
It's like Kermit the Frog. For those of you listening at home, you'll have to tune in
Bullets
to the show.
Savagery.
I will not describe that for you.
Oh
if
shit!
You saw it.
Yeah, that's video pleasure only.
Yeah, that's for the
viewing
video
eyes
show.
only.
That's for the show.
You had to share it. Gee, that's funny.
Well played, Bullets.
Right,
that was pretty good.
Before we get back to the tape, on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Shane, what happened to all about football, though? And you just,
Hey, Bullets.
There you go.
Bullets fucked
just
that
cut
one
him
up.
off. Shane, real quick, would you, if you're the Eagles, do this trade with this kind of stigma attached to it?
Well, this is from a business sense. From the NFL is obviously a different breed. I mean, you can go all the way back to I mean, come on.
The end of
Ray Lewis, all of everything that's
Ray Rice,
I'm not gonna get into that, but NFL finds out things a lot quicker than other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
They very well may know something that other teams haven't even gotten a hold of yet. And I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibilities here. Maybe they've agreed to a financial package going to these women where all of this is going to go away, and Philadelphia's caught wind of that.
Included in the trade deal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No.
But
when I say you're right, you are right.
No, it's just what it is. Is it super risky? 100%, because I can't see how you make a trade like that unless you have some insider trading knowledge about maybe how this is going to unfold or whatever.
You can't.
Before any of this came out, we know that he wanted out. And I mean, Philadelphia is always, to Gregg's point, they're always in the fucking quarterback business. Nobody expected them to draft Jalen Hurts in the second round.
With
you know what I mean?
Wentz
with Carson Wentz. Yeah. And that's what they are. I mean, another way that you have to look at it, and I'm not trying to be, just pawn off all of these allegations, but if they make this trade and everything goes by the wayside and they hit with him,
right?
It'll
take like a year.
You're fucking cooking with gas pretty quick.
Everybody forgets
in the NFC East because Daniel
Daniel
Jones is a huge question mark. Washington has Fitzpatrick, and then you have Dallas with that coming off a huge injury. I mean, you're right back into the game.
You watch the Michael Vick 30 for 30, and he's public enemy number one, being dragged to the streets. Obviously he did his time. Then he comes out. It took like a year, and they're calling him the dream team. It doesn't take long in the NFL for people to forget. That's just how it goes. I mean, who's the running back that a lot of Bears fans wanted? He ended up on the Browns.
That's Kareem Hunt.
I mean, there's been players that have gotten drinking and driving and killed someone and kept playing. You've seen that kind of stuff happen. So
yeah, you're right. It is something. Obviously, we're going to be monitoring it, covering it, and it is an interesting topic that we break into. This is Keeping It 100, so we had to. That's major news if this goes down.
Oh, yeah, and hey, my family members are all Eagles fans, so I hope this fucking blows up in their face, obviously, but we'll see how that goes. But I mean, if you're Houston at this point, if you're Phil, if you're the GM of the Houston Texans, I understand the talent disparity once you move off of him.
But I mean, get the hell out of him.
You can't,
because he doesn't want to be there anyway. Like if he wanted to be there, it would be different. Like I would stand for my guy until everything unfolded accordingly. That's what you should do. But if the guy, prior to this, maybe it was because of this that he wanted the fuck out of there and all of that. We're not going to know that until the book comes out. But if I'm the GM there, I want to get while the get is good. Let's get it out of here and we'll restart. And hopefully, I would demand Hurts.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, I would.
If I'm the GM, I mean, to me, it's a deal killer. You have to get back Jalen Hurts in any deal if you're Houston. You have to.
This is a true story. I mean, it's been like that since I can remember. An athlete he's so good, people turn the other cheek. There's been guys that don't even know how to read, but somehow they graduated from Florida State. It's like they look the other way, and it's unfortunate, but That's why we talk about it. Everybody loves sports. At the end of the day, say what it is you want. That's why the college game and the pay is coming into that, because it's entertainment. It's the ultimate reality show. It's the greatest game in the world, but it's the most physical and demanding one. So here in this situation, he's going to sell tickets, even with the negativity surrounding him. It'll be the story every day.
Oh, and listen,
and they love that there in Philly.
Oh, well, they
like to be the bad guys.
ESPN is creaming in their pants right now at the thought of him getting traded to Philadelphia.
Oh my God. What's his name? Sal Palantonio is going to be on. He's screaming his pants because more airtime for me. I'll be on live more than Gregg.
But I honestly think this is I think this is why Philly has made these I think part of this is what they had in mind all along. I mean, because they have their own first, they have Indy's first, and then who is the other one that they have? I'm blanking on it. Somebody
Jets.
In the chat will know. No.
Who's the other first?
It's a late. It's going to be another late one. Miami
Dolphins first.
Yeah, in the trade down.
So. Think how lucky the Bears are, and obviously it's not in a vacuum, so you don't know how Deshaun Watson's personal stuff would have gone had he been drafted by the Bears. But they've dodged the bullet twice with him. Had they drafted him and he acted like this in Chicago, could have blown up in their face. And then also, like you guys pointed out, they were going to trade for him in January before all this stuff hit the fan.
Well,
and so 2 times in a row they've dodged that bullet.
It's actually all
even things happen for a reason.
It's not Deshaun, but I mean, imagine if they had made the trade for Carson Wentz.
Well, Carson Wentz or even Russell Wilson, and I would have loved Russell Wilson and never looked back because I'm a huge fan of Russell Wilson's. But the package they were going to give up for him could have, it could have been a much longer time before they could have, built that back up around him. And it's just crazy how it works. I mean, it's like when I bought my house, we almost bought a house. We bid over on this one house we didn't get, $20,000 over asking price. Well, somebody else bidded $30,000 over. And if it wasn't for those people, those crazy people from Illinois.
That wasn't me.
I'm just saying.
Jackal.
It's just, I'm going to kick your ass, Jackal. I'm just saying, sometimes all things happen for a reason, and you get lucky, and that seems to be what has happened with the Bears here.
Yeah, no, the Bears, you look back thinking about what you would, thinking about the downside of any deal, and I mean, to a T, I don't think there's anybody that would want to move off of Justin Fields, knowing now that you have him under any circumstance. But
I could be talked into Russell Wilson based on what I love about Russell.
Yeah,
that's
but
the only guy though. Would
you give up Justin Fields and 2 first-round picks on top of it and more?
And 2 starters, which were going to be like what? Roquan and Jalen were some of the names floated in there.
It's a conversation for another
day.
At the time, it's a total different outlook when you don't have Justin Fields because
God.
I mean, I
No
don't think
doubt.
anybody
would Seattle take that trade had they known one of those first rounders was Justin Fields. That's
I think so.
That could have been Justin Fields, next year's first, and Roquan Smith. Do I take that? Yeah, I would take Russell Wilson. It's fucking Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson. But Justin Fields, his story is yet to be written. And to your point, you've dodged the Wentz, you've dodged the Deshaun Watson because as you said, that was my guy. I mean, that's who we would have drafted if I was the GM. But again, it goes back to, do we sit down with these guys? Maybe Ryan Pace knew something about Deshaun. Never even thought about that and this kind of stuff. Who knows? We'll never know until the book comes out. Like I said, those books, you always read about the books later. Anyway, let's get back, finish up a couple more plays here of the Gregg Braggs plays. Here we have still in 7-on-7. The coach is snapping, and here is the deep ball. We talked about this last night. This kid, number 13, again, just laying out, eyes on the football, catching through the ball. Justin, again, if we rewind it back, Shayne, you're going to see a different throwing angle. Again, with that stride, you got to watch it. It's tight to his chest, throws right through it. Gotta love how the kid adjusts to the football. But
nobody else was catching that ball other than the wide receiver.
Oh my God, just a perfect velocity, perfect.
I was laughing at people on the comments on Twitter saying it wasn't a good throw. I was like,
what are you?
You're out of your mind.
Who said it wasn't a good throw?
Just thousands of comments, and people were like, it was a better catch than a throw. I go, equal to. It was an amazing throw, and he put it only where the wide receiver could catch it.
You put it out there, you put it on a dime, and you step through it. The technique was perfect. You gotta love that. Here they are, 11-on-11. Look at
this. Was Dalton's best throw of the day.
This is Dalton hitting a deep
seam
fade
through the fade versus
deep
cover
blob.
two.
If you look at the crispness of the video, but
what he's facing is a cover two, so he's having to thread the ball in the window. So he takes some velocity. Off the football. There's Gregg and his beautiful. I forget what Ryan Cox called those eyes, Bermuda eyes. But look at him drop that versus the linebacker to Allen Robinson right in the window. These are things Andy Dalton does really well. Here he is again, 11-on-11. Jimmy Graham not blocking this. Oh my God. Was that Borum Can you rewind that? I didn't see this play yet.
This is an upgrade that StreamYard definitely needs to make on shared videos.
Gotta be able to rewind it. That's why I think maybe the way Gregg did it, because he just kept replaying it. I missed it again. I can't see if Borum got the better of him or did the guy. It's Mario Edwards versus Larry Borum. So Borum's playing left tackle. He fires out. It's Borum.
Yeah.
Borum pancakes his ass. So there you again. It's an RPO.
Did Cole Kmet get dinged up on that play?
Yeah, he did. Someone fell on him. You see him getting up a little.
His ankle.
Little ding.
He like trips.
But fucking Borum, look at this dude. Fucking Cody misses a block. And there's Goodwin. And that kid, Goodwin.
So that was the end of Dalton's 11-on-11s. They attempted a touchdown and they couldn't get it, so it just resulted in a short field goal. That is one of my concerns with Andy is, I do think he's a guy that can make completions in between the 20s, but then when he gets into the red zone and things start to bottle up.
That's been his MO over his career.
Right. It's not like it's any secret. He's been doing it in Bengals and then Dallas last year.
The thing. When Phil points out what Andy Dalton can do, he's not. If he praises Andy Dalton, he's not saying that he's the savior. He's not. I mean, Jesus, go back and watch the tape never lies that he did. He's talking about fundamentally he's the best since Eric Kramer. Now, Eric, you're talking about where this franchise has come from. Eric Kramer has thrown the most touchdowns in a season ever for any Bears quarterback. So he's not saying that Andy Dalton is the answer and he's going to fend off Justin Fields. Listen, we all know where this is headed. To me, this all points to the Bears buying time for the offensive line to gel before they bring in who is going to be considered the savior, the crown jewel of the franchise.
That's why I was wondering from you guys, and especially you, Shayne, because you're always on point with this kind of stuff. But do you think I'm off base in thinking, the longer they buy Fields time and obviously the rest of the offensive line in particular time, and let's say Dalton does play halfway decent, isn't he the better trade chip once Fields is officially ready? Because who wants Foles? And you can trade Dalton, get a good pick for it, and then you got dipshit Foles to sit behind him.
I don't think that they would trade Andy unless it was a gross overpay.
Because once Fields is ready, he's ready. He's not coming out.
No, but I agree with Shayne.
I don't think they want to go. I don't think I think there's less than zero interest in Foles suiting up on the field. I think for anything, they want him behind the scenes in the classroom and stuff like that if he's here. Yeah. But the Bears they're not going to come out and say it publicly. The Bears want to contend for the playoffs this year.
Why wouldn't you? You don't take years off.
Andy Dalton.
And if he falters, then you can go back to a veteran that you believe in. And listen, I'll put this out here too. The cap is going to go up next year. Is there going to be teams out there that are going to be paying Andy Dalton to come in and start next year? No. The Bears did that because they had no other option pre-draft. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that Andy Dalton is back here again next year because of his history working with Justin Fields as your long-term backup.
Yeah.
Or not long-term, like a 2-year deal, whatever like that. And then you can have a wink, wink, nod, nod deal with him. All right, so Joe Burrow went out and got hurt. We can, get you over to Cincinnati or, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I don't think there's any chance.
To your points, there's two things. I want to remind me to go back to Nagy talking about the offensive line, giving you some breadcrumbs there this week. But continuing on Dalton, Funkster Jones is in the house. But you're seeing technique, what you're saying, Shayne, for me, fundamentals, and been there before. How much do you all believe in Nick Foles? You saw the clunkiness and the awkwardness, and let's face it, the inability to rise to the occasion. He's everything my boy Shayne said he was. He's a temporary fix. He's Flex Seal on a fucking pipe.
He's a 3-game guy. He can. Yes, he went a little bit longer than that in 2017 with Philly, but that's who he is. Back when dumbass Swanky was on here spouting his bullshit about Wentz and Foles, and that was my point back then.
Exactly.
He's a backup quarterback. That's who he is. To me, it feels like the Bears, maybe they're just buying some time with Nick Foles to see if somebody gets desperate and we'll throw them a higher pick. To me, it sounds like Nick Foles and his agent maybe have a deal in place, and Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are like, all right, yeah, you brought us that deal. We're going to cover our bases. Lord forbid if anything happens, and we'll make the deal on our watch, not on yours.
I agree. And back to Andy, I'm telling you, the Eric Kramer and the Josh McCown, that more athletic, but fundamentally they're going to do these things. And let's not forget, some of those Bengals teams were awful, and this guy was rising to the occasion. This wasn't Nick Foles that's folding. And, Foles has his moments. This guy's consistently consistent.
I still got to see it.
You're going to see it. You're going to see it.
I have Foles feelings about Dalton. Last year I was nervous about Foles coming in, and I had a lot of people telling me, oh, he's a veteran. He can run this offense. He's got a Super Bowl MVP, blah, blah, blah. And I know average when I see it. And it's
everybody throws that out there, the Super Bowl MVP. And it was in that fucking small window.
Okay, fine, but just push Foles aside and just focus on Dalton. I've seen him for 10 years. It's not like this is any secret on who he is. And I do just get nervous. I know that all that matters is Justin Fields' development. When he's ready is all that matters. What Dalton does really doesn't matter. But my hope is once Fields is ready, it isn't like a Tua Tagovailoa situation where he's coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. I want it to be Justin Herbert, where he comes in for the last 14 games and throws for 4,000 yards. And I don't ever have to worry about Andy Dalton again. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't trust Andy Dalton. I see a guy that might be able to make a few more completions than Nick Foles, but ultimately is still going to be a guy that turns the ball over in the red zone or field goals. That's what I think he is.
Based on athletically alone, Andy Dalton is a much better athlete. That's
without a doubt,
huge upgrade from Nick Foles. I mean, Craig, you saw it yesterday on that one rollout from Nick Foles. He looks like he's running in fucking quicksand.
Right.
You know, it looks like each one of his feet weighs 87 pounds.
I don't.
But all that matters is for Dalton or Foles, as you pointed out with Foles when he was on the Eagles, is the offensive line. And if the tackles
going to get back,
in the it was a shit show for the offensive line at Family Fest. And if it's a shit show, they can't get it figured out. Nagy hasn't been
padded practice.
Well, Nagy hasn't gotten the offensive line good since 2018.
Exactly.
And so that's still a concern.
But this is what I wanted to talk about. So I'm glad you brought it up because Coach Nagy made it very evident. I'm going to get our producers, Jackal, Alex Acevedo, wherever he is right now, and others cutting some of this sound bites of the coaches. That's what we need for these shows because it's relevant to these, especially when Nagy starts praising, well, we finally got the offensive line cohesive in that Packers game. And he's referring to Sam Mustipher coming into center, and you saw them go and do what they did. So this point that you're making, Greg, we're at our first padded practice with rookies out there. We got Fetty, who was supposed to be a starter, not there. Jenkins, first round pick, they would have taken him at 20. He's not there because he's hurt. Everyone's panicking. It's their first padded practice. On top of that, calm, tap the brakes. You're going to see a different team. I remember seeing a Bears team go into preseason against, I can't remember which team, and they got fucking blown out. And it was like, oh my God, they went out there opening day, beat the fuck out of the Lions. They went the next week. They were like undefeated, and that ended up being Mike Brown, Olin Kreutz, and that year with Shayne Matthews. And remember that, Shayne? And the miraculous comeback against the 49ers and the Browns back-to-back. You never know. You got to watch.
Be ready to run the ball like that team did.
That's the key. That's the penicillin here. You just had Zack Pearson come on and praise two of the running backs, not your best one. He came on Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert. He praised those two and not David Montgomery. So I'm telling you, I've told you this for years. It's number 32 is going to be your penicillin because you know what? How do you help a young offensive lineman? You run the fucking ball. What did Borum just do to Mario Edwards? A fucking killer defensive lineman. He fucking knocked him on his ass. That's what he did. So how do you build that confidence? You continue to run the football. Will Nagy do that? Logan Frost doesn't think so. Bob Fishna probably doesn't think so. Cameron Beige, I know, and so on and so forth down the line. They have their doubt. I've always had my concerns, as you know, Greg, about Nagy. Now it's year fucking 4, Matt. You got to run the fucking ball. It's the only way you're going to help this whole fucking team out. And if he can't figure it out, he needs to go. He should be running 60% of the time. That's how much. And then you get your offense and the things that you really want to get to, it'll come like that. But he can't try to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. You just can't.
Fuck that. Well, it was taken.
Just let Shayne go in there. Fucking take over.
So this is Justin Fields.
Here we go.
His 11 on 11s where he goes down.
Number 17. Remind me his name again.
17 is Chris Lacey.
Thank you. Here he is off platform, Greg. He steps up into the pocket. Those of you listening to the show,
Justin Hardy with the
he's
catch.
hitting Hardy, who they just picked up. This kid's played in the league, Hardy, before. So you're going to see a pass rush here. Again, let's watch. I think this is Lachavious Simmons taking on Mario. No, that's my boy, Wheatley Jr. doing a great job. Then he hits Hardy on the curl route. They tackled. Were they pissed when they tackled
I was
him?
I was literally just gonna say that.
Were the coaches upset when he put him to the ground there?
Everything was happening so fast.
Gregg was kicking the shit out of that kid with the hoop at that
Put the hoop down. I'm not an idiot. I know we need to run. Right? Bullets knows.
Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised Big Jesse James. Here we go. 11 on 11 at the goal line.
Fields is showing his frame there.
Look at the size of him.
That's a big dude.
Justin Fields. Look at him here. So let's look at the offensive line. Pause there. 79 is the kid Badabore. How do you say?
Yeah, he had a tough.
Out of LSU. And you got Arlington Hambright. They had to have this kid out of Colorado. You got my boy Dieter Eisland at center. Then you have number 69 at guard there. Who is he?
69 at guard.
Is that the kid from Mississippi State?
Oh, yeah, it's Henry Milton.
Darian Parker.
Darian Parker.
Oh, it's not Henry Milton?
Hank.
And then you have Tyrone Wheatley Jr. That's who he's working with. You got J.P. Holtz in the slot. Look at J.P. Holtz in the slot. And then you got Hardy not Hardy, 17 again in the backfield.
Herbert.
With Khalil Herbert. Justin straight drop.
And this was on third down.
Wants a 3-step. He's looking for a slant.
He's looking at Ridley. And it goes blurry, and Ridley dropped it.
This play, Sean Sierra and Ivan shot the replay up at the scoreboard. And on the replay, I'm telling you, he drops it right into the fucking receiver's hands.
Yep.
And over the two backers that are there.
Yep.
Now, is it the right read? No, but it hits the motherfucker right in the hands.
It should have been a
Greg
touchdown.
had shot a better shot.
I did. I'm a failure.
So Riley Ridley, Shane, our guy.
Jacko, can you write down that timestamp?
Cars is already screen recording.
Riley Ridley drops the ball.
And that's the thing. I mean, we're all out here screaming for more reps for Ridley, and that's a class. You can't.
Drop
That's where he's going to be in trouble. When you're looking at all these receivers I'm trying to get to know, and you're seeing them make plays with Justin Fields, and Ridley's been on this team for years. There's word that he potentially was in the doghouse or whatever the hell happened with him.
Supposedly, him and Justin are forming quite a bond.
Former Georgia boys
off the field.
Teammates.
Well, he's big, and he's got the namesake.
Is he nice to you?
Ridley, yeah, he's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Can you get him on the show?
I mean, I could try.
Chubbs said you did a shitty job too, Greg. So.
Chubbs always got my back. That's why I like Chubbs.
He's got to catch that ball there. It's not clear on the tape, on the video here, but I'm telling you, it was unbelievably placed football.
Put it right in his hands.
Right in his hands. Here he is dropping.
Touchdown again.
This is the same pass.
Yeah.
I don't know who says that was a better catch than throw. I mean, it's both. It's a great catch, and it's an absolutely beautifully, fundamentally sound ball by Justin Fields.
Good job!
So there you have it. The Gregg Braggs in the stands. Greg, what night do you roll
Anyways, thanks
show?
for coming, Greg.
What night do you broadcast, Greg?
Whenever the fuck I want. That's the beautiful thing.
I see my internet acting up.
No, perfect time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Whenever I want. I normally go on Friday nights during the regular season, but the nice thing about having your own shit is you can do it whenever you want, or as much or as little as you want. So And sometimes it just depends on when the guest can do it. So we'll see how that goes. Might have Mark Potash on at some point. We had a nice conversation the other day. So we'll see how it
give
goes.
him one of your TVs so he can upgrade his 1987.
He does have a 1972 living room den. He's hanging out in.
Yeah, I like Potash. He is.
He doesn't mince any words in his questions. No, I will give him that.
I do like him. Gregg, that was some great stuff that you put out there. We appreciate you doing that. And
thanks for breaking it down, because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I'm just filming it.
Well, you do a great job filming it. Save the breakdowns to the professionals. You're out of your league there, Mr. Bukowski. Peter Bukowski. Gregg, you know
it when you see it. That's the saying.
Tomorrow you're going to be there, right?
Yep, I'm going to be there again tomorrow.
So you're going to be there. Please, seriously, just film a lot of the offensive and defense when they go one-on-one. Capture that for me, brother.
No dumbest tweets, Herman. Sorry, brother.
No dumbest tweets tonight. I'm back from Punta Cana. You know what time it is in the show with our boy Gregg Braggs. It's the Braggs time. No, it's this.
How is Shayne more tan than you? You went to Punta Cana.
Right.
He went out there. I put 50 sunblock on every day because I didn't want to take any chances. Usually I put 15 because I get really tan, but I just wanted to be cautious. My wife actually was hammering that home. You're not putting 15 on. Put 50. So I put 50 on, and I was protected, Shayne, like a great Trojan condom should be.
Yeah. Should have bought some of those a few months ago.
Exactly.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay SpencerStrong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam.
The network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this part, signal show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say they get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. SpencerStrong.
Well, we did it. We did it live tonight. Look at that.
What's happening?
Better
little music in the background, Mr.
Little
Braggs.
music. Little turn it up a little bit.
Little production for you.
I see.
There you go. Put it in the background. Listen, what happened? You got to keep it there. Just leave it like this, and then you go like that. There you go.
There it is.
Where'd Caden go? He just left us.
He had to bounce.
Okay, texted
yeah, he
you.
texted me.
I think his internet's only working until midnight. He's allowed to use from like 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Gregg, you are our guest. Do you have any shout outs you want to send out to the world tonight?
Of course, I got to shout out my beautiful wife, Jenny. allowing me to have all this fun, being able
I would
to
hope so.
facilitate this, and then give the people what. Shout out my nerd alert, Cars. I know he hates me, but I still love you. That doesn't stop, and that may make you hate me more, but that's what you get, and you're stuck with me like a virus, worse than COVID.
Like herpes.
Shout out my guy Jackal, always giving me shit.
It's good man.
As I call him, Shayne Light.
Hey, Phil and I actually had a conversation about that. Jackal, have I ever, in your history of talking to me, have I ever told you to go after Gregg Braggs? Ever?
Not once. Not once.
Never.
It's inferred. You don't have to say it. It's just a part of the job title. When you join the Tape Never Lies Network, then
what?
You immediately have to go into giving me shit. Angelo's the only one that did it, and that's because he's worried about,
he's not allowed to.
The Mexican mafia.
What the hell is going on?
So, and of course, shout out to my guy Alex Acevedo, good friend of all of ours, good friend of mine. He helped me on my first ever live show when we had Jim McMahon, and in return for his hard work that day, I said I was going to take him to the first preseason game here coming up a week from Saturday. So Alex and I will be in the tunnel. All those great shots you saw, Alex will be right next to me, learning all the tricks to the trade. We'll be doing all sorts of crazy content that day. But most importantly, we will be getting that shot of Justin Fields coming out the tunnel for the first time in a Chicago Bears uniform. And I'm very excited for that. So keep on the lookout for some more fun content of your beloved Chicago Bears. And then, of course, shout out to my guys, Draft Dr. Philatoshin and Shayne Marsaw. They may be assholes, but I love them. And and they make me laugh. So that's what's most important, is laughing, having fun, good friends, good times, and talking Bears. Football is back, guys. Training camp. We got our first day in pads. Maybe they'll be in pads tomorrow. I have no idea, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. So this is just the best time of year. Training camp is always my favorite time of year, especially when it used to be in Bourbonnais. So there's a bit of an adjustment now that it's at Halas Hall, but a lot of fun nonetheless. Never changes when they get out on that practice field, because hope springs eternal. This is, everybody gives shit. Oh, Bears fans every year they're going to win the Super Bowl every time this year. Well, yeah, that's what this time of year is all about. If you're a fan like I am, you're always thinking hopes and dreams. And I want Justin Fields to come in and light the world on fire, and we win the fucking division this year. That's what I'm thinking about right now. If it all goes to shit, we'll worry about that later. But that's what it's all about this time of year is dreams, especially when my Cubbies are in the tank. We need the Bears to pick us up. The Bulls are back. The Bears are back. Good vibes. What are you going to take a shot, Shayne?
No, I was checking out the box score of the Dodgers game, and Scherzer dominated.
Man, you spend $400 million a year, you should have a pretty good product out
Ain't
there.
it?
This coming from the fucking Red Sox fan over there.
You tripled our payroll this year, so I can't really say much, but
thanks for Mookie.
Hey, don't.
Shout out to everybody following along with the content and everybody coming into our show last night.
A little bit of a trade update from Aaron Wilson, who's as locked in as anybody with the Houston Texans. No trade is currently imminent or even developing at this time for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, according to league sources. While there is interest and teams are conducting extensive due diligence, complex legal situation, no trade clause are all difficult factors to work through. So I would go off of anything that Aaron Wilson said. Totally vouch for the guy. He's a very underrated follow. So if you want to reach out and follow at Aaron Wilson _NFL, he's as locked in as they come, and I take whatever he says as gospel.
Yeah, they're saying the Panthers are looking at Watson. They're gauging, keeping an eye.
Jackal,
they were the number one team.
I'll be quick, man. Shouting out the fam. Without them, none of this is possible, right, Greg? You know, Mr. Braggs, you're okay. I do shout you out. You have some fantastic coverage. I live vicariously through you, as you clearly care more about the Bears than your family. But, you know, with all that being said, I do appreciate that. And I do kid because you got a lovely family.
Family can wait.
Health as well.
Christmas time, I'll hang out with them.
You know, they just buy their love. It's cool. Won't cause any problems down the road.
Should I
nonetheless,
play the phone call I had with Jenny Braggs yesterday on the phone?
Can you play that stuff?
Oh, we have it. We have it saved.
Nonetheless, shout out to each and one of you guys, man. Shayne, what else can I say? I hope you get some sleep with taking care of the little one for the next 10 days. I'm sure we'll see it next week on your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it already.
Phil, welcome back.
Thank you, man.
Big
You know,
plays are
and
nice.
Phil,
They're good. We need more of those.
Yeah, we do need more.
And just remember, you wanted me to remind you about something, so I'm doing it live. So
thank you.
You're very welcome. So shout out to all you guys out there, TTNL family, and loving each every one of you. And sorry I hit on Logan last week during the live show. But, when you love a man, sorry, I love Mr. Frost. What can I say? Mark it down.
There you go. Shayne, you have any shout outs?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine short and quick. Keep it to my family. Been a long, crazy few days here in the Marsaw house. I talked about it a little bit. These guys that are up here know what's going on. Not out of the woods yet with my son, but things are trending up, as Matt Nagy would like to say. He and Ela are actually flying to Prague tomorrow morning, so that's gonna be an event.
Shayne keeps the baby though.
Yeah, Shayne's got the baby for the next 10 days.
Dude.
Awesome.
Check in with him every day, guys.
Yeah, I will be working, and my sister is a teacher, so she's home during the summer. So she's going to be getting lots of phone calls from Shayne, like, and I can't believe I got to stay at work for another 8 hours. It's fucking crazy.
You want me to deliver mail all night,
right?
No, you could have used that Tape Never Lies money to fly Barb out. She'd have watched.
I had to. We flew.
How do you think Claudio got to Italy?
We flew Claudio to Italy.
Claudio to Italy. Could Barb wear her Keepin It 100 shirt?
That Barber money.
Come on, Barb. Is she in the chat tonight?
Step up, Barb.
Come on, step up. Barb.
Unacceptable.
But safe travels to Ela and Riley. That's always a stressful time for me. Ela and I were talking about it tonight. She's like, "You seem kind of on edge," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is when your family is flying, thousands of miles away over the ocean, and anything fucking happens, I can't be there in 5 minutes." So yeah, it's very stressful, but we've dealt with it many times before, and I appreciate all the support. A lot of people have reached out to me about Riley and what we're dealing with there. It's just not out of the woods yet, and hopefully everything keeps trending positively. But I couldn't be happier, man. Football is back, and this, I even told Ela, I'm like, all right, so when you guys are coming back, just make sure it's not the 14th around 1 o'clock East, because I'm not gonna be at the airport. I missed you, but I'm not missing that game. So I'll be back on the
football
15th
on tomorrow night. It's great.
Yeah, well, I'll be there.
We'll all be watching it tomorrow. Yeah. God bless your family on their travels.
Thanks, man.
It's not easy, and to be away from it, it's a little underrated how hard that would be. So.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, I'm looking forward to some alone time with my daughter, believe it or not, even though that's been a struggle with the colic and her not sleeping and stuff like that. But little daddy-daughter time is going to be good. Strengthen that bond.
Tell Braggs what that's about.
Yeah, I know. She's living the life.
Sorry, Greg. I just can't help myself.
Hey, no, it's the truth.
Let me just kick this off, because I want to get through, obviously being gone on vacation and taking a break from something you've built, and it's like yours. So you want to make sure, obviously I trust Shayne, but Josh E was an unknown. So how is he going to handle that and all that? Just to shout out Josh E, Alex H, Bullets, HL Priest, Logan Frost, for all of you guys for coming on the show and handling the show and doing and just keeping it 100 and a family. That's what this show is about. The premise is obviously the Chicago Bears. We talk a lot of no politics, but a lot of pop culture and things that happen. We keep it 100 and we stand our ground no matter the troll or anything. So there's so many people I want to thank, and it's late in the night. You've done a 3-hour and 40-minute show, so I want to get through these. I wanted to first thank all those guys for stepping up, and also I never got an opportunity to say thank you to you 100 crew for raising that money for Ryan Cox and his family. It wasn't for fucking likes. It wasn't for pats on the back. It wasn't for some asshole trying to use me and belittle a little boy struggling. It was for a family, and you all stepped up. And I'm a vulnerable guy, a very sensitive guy. I am. And I have fiery and I'm the most competitive motherfucker you'll ever meet. But I do wear my heart on my sleeve. But to say I hit that plane and felt so proud of what TTNL did and stands for, it was the huge spike on the fucking haters' heads. And you guys carried that torch all week. So it's much love to all of you who stepped up and donated to the raffle and everything that was really just a showcase to get this family some much needed support. Because when you have a sick child and you have stuff like that going on, every dollar counts, every moment counts. So listen, that's the reality. I need my music, Shayne. Don't know what happened there. Jackal dropped.
It only goes for 15 minutes.
I just started talking, so you can't blame me.
But hey, Phil, real quick, I don't know if you
ahead.
have this. I did forget one shout out, and it is very important, and you very well may have him included, but I want to speak on it too. And hey, nobody busts balls more than I do on this panel. But at the end of the day, it is all about family, and each and every one of us, if something happened, would be there in a heartbeat. And Cars is not with us tonight, and he's dealing with he's. But I've known Cars just as long too, so you can. But I'll speak for you too, Phil. But they're dealing with an untimely, tragic death to young gentleman in Cars' family that is gone much too soon.
Way too soon.
And it's those things that just pop up out of nowhere and happen. It's been very, very tough on Cars, and we love him like a brother, even though I know everything that goes on with busting balls and taking shots and stuff like that. But it's I don't wish pain like that on anybody. And Cars sent me a picture of, it's actually his cousin's child was 25 years old and killed, and Cars sent me a picture of him holding his cousin's son when he was born. And boy, I said, Cars, I'm like, I can't, man. That's a tough one. That's
too close to home.
Those things hit different. And I said, it's been a tough week for me emotionally, dealing with everything with my son, but my heart goes out to Cars and his entire extended family and everything that they're dealing with, because it's a tough one.
Prayers up to Car. Yeah, he was the next on my notes here. I mean, you said it all, but there is a brotherhood that I have with Cars. We break his chops, but I think I've been very vulnerable with Gregg, with Jackal, with Claudio, even with Angelo, with everybody. When there's time to pull back the curtain, Cars has been in my corner supporting. I understand the game of him breaking my balls and saying things about me that, it's tongue in cheek, but it's funny and you laugh. But at the end of the day, there's nobody that has your back more. So for him to have that loss, I just lost a friend who was only 41 years old, just turned 41. It's crazy. And it's just, there's such a finality to it. But this is family, and Cars is with us. So every positive, even if I don't practice religion, but I do believe in God and spirituality. You put that positivity towards Cars and his family. That's all I can ask.
That
being said, he is our brother. We miss you, Cars. God bless you. Take the amount of time you need. It's always family first. I want to shout out my family, my father and mom, for taking care of our dog and our daughter, so we can go and take that week, that much needed week.
You got a dog?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
See, we'll go on for 40 more minutes.
Yeah, until 1:15.
So
we won't.
If
Shane's
you
about to
start
hit the
talking
button.
about Gregg, forgetting that me and Shayne have dogs. Anyway,
No, that's not even the bad part.
he has a Christmas card of Shayne.
Christmas card with Shane's family and his dog.
That's the
and
short
my
story.
dog. Yeah, his wife was even pissed about that one.
I want to shout
What do they
out-
say about that? Is that like a
Jenny's used to it. I don't
I
even
thought it was
know.
like a narcissistic quality
Jenny's
or
like,
something.
I'm on Team
I
Laris,
hate
and
you.
You ever been called a
narcissistic
narcissist,
fuck.
Greg?
She did.
It takes me
She
years to figure out like my friends' last names or what they do for a living. I don't.
Oh my god.
Are you more worried about what goes on in your own life, or
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
worried
okay.
about shit except
Okay,
for the
self-absorbed. It's cool.
ATVs and the shuffleboard. I'm not worried about anything else.
And your
That's
bar. Okay. I want to shout out my wife of 10 years, but we've been together obviously a little bit more, and just I had a blast, and I can't thank her enough for everything she does for this network, the show, and everything behind the scenes, and just being there as a friend to Shayne and Gregg and Jack. Like, my wife is just an angel. She really is. I'm not saying that. It's just keeping it on. I'm a lucky guy. I really know that. Mark and Stacy that I met from Pennsylvania. I want to shout them out. Nate and Jody, also from Pennsylvania.
Is he going to the Steelers game?
Yes, we're going to meet with them
Nice.
there. These guys we met are just wonderful people that you meet on vacation. It's just awesome when you have that kind of stuff. Spencer and Amber, who are from West Virginia, Shayne. I want to shout them. They were newlyweds. We met them. James Halas and his girl.
Got
She
a hot
was
mom?
Dominican. They were down there, and big Bears fan from Queens. As I said, Dave and Sophie from Chicago was a huge Dave Kaplan fan. HL Priest, I
get it.
see you every time you do your own promos for the show. I love dudes like that. Get HL Priest some more airtime. That's just going out of your way to share the compassion that this family has. Josh E for doing what he did last week, and Bullets. I just want to thank Bullets. I never have had the time to tell you what a tremendous, vulnerable, honest human being Bullets is. It's just, you develop friendships. Like, I left Chicago from the Sandlands meeting them and Gregg, and I felt like they were my family. Like, on that first, remember specifically being on the phone with Steph. You got to meet these people. It's something different. It's big. It's awesome. And I was right about them. I might have been wrong about other people, but I was right about the Sandlands. Shout them out, and Gregg, I hope. Matt Taylor.
Put that away, dude.
Matt Taylor, Big T on Instagram, real quick. He has a GoFundMe. His sister, Christy. I'm going to share the GoFundMe tomorrow so you could follow it if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, because I don't know how to do this now, but he's one of our TTNL big fans. His sister's house is burned down to the ground. They have nothing. They have zero. So he asked if I could share this on the show. Jackal, I sent you the link, right? Can you put that in the YouTube after you do the...
Yeah, I can copy and paste that.
Copy, paste that in there. If you're interested in helping him, one person helps, he said. If you can mention this on the show, I know Matt promotes us, loves us. I want to say that. So we're going to do that. Check out the YouTube. God bless your family and everything. Will Mookie Hill, happy birthday. John Centino. I was going to read his letter he sent me, but I'm going to do that next week. John, talk about vulnerability, Shayne. I've not shared his letter with anybody but Steph. And Steph was brought to tears reading it.
Yeah, I got one.
I get emotional
message.
right now. It like caught me. So John, next week I got his permission. I'm gonna read that. This is what this network, this show is all about. I told Gregg Braggs, he was like, fucking podcast. I go, I'm telling you, we got the right mix. This is gonna be huge, right, Greg? And people love it, and they'll love it if you continue to drive and build a friendship. You gotta shout out the fans. You gotta include people, because a lot of people out there don't have check marks, but they know the game of football and they say good things. Anyway, Greg was there for that conversation outside a bar in Chicago after the Bears beat the Bucs. Rick Riggs,
let's
Gustavo.
go.
One of them's a has-been out of those three, but whatever.
Please say some prayers for our guy.
You can have DeRozan.
I want to thank Zack Pearson.
Are you a Celtics fan?
Gregg Braggs.
I don't want to get into it.
Fuck basketball.
Jackal,
Zack
you interrupted
Pearson.
did I say something nice about me again? Jesus.
Zack
I'm tired
Pearson,
of it, dude.
Thank you so much for coming on. Zack Pearson's an underrated person and a reporter.
Gray hair.
Blowout.
He's actually 4'7", but 6'2" when he gets there.
Zack Pearson, more like Zach Morris.
Is he taller than me, Greg? You've met us both. Does Pearson have more height than I do?
With the hair, for sure.
With the hair, okay. Shout you out, Greg. Thank you for coming on. Logan Frost, another guy. I mean, just tremendous human being. I always will keep it 100. I intend to watch the show in full Friday.
Just showed up. It was awesome.
So I just want to make sure. CK, Cool Kennedy, want to shout you out. All the work you guys put in. Ron G and Caden Whitlow for their productions. You see a lot of things. I had something else to play, but it's very late. Alex H, I want to thank you for everything you did for the raffle and everything. And my boy Steph Froylan, I know you were here tonight, but you are a tremendous human being.
He's awesome. Just
great person. And that's it for tonight. I'm sorry I went a little over. We went a little over. I love you all. Claudio's in Italy. Does anyone want to shout him out?
Baba Beepo. Boobity.
No one shouted out.
Smoke weed every day.
I wonder if he's smoking in Italy.
Gabagool.
Probably not. Gabagool. He's probably eating some pasta. With that being said,
kids' hair,
guys, we'll be back next week. I don't even know who the guest is going to be, but we're going to definitely have a guest.
We will be live with Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Thanks to Gregg Braggs.
Greg is going to schedule our next guest. Greg, you did have a stat you wanted to share.
That was
right?
true. Me and Phil were talking, and it turns out I've booked more guests than Shayne and Jackal and Cars combined for this show here.
There you go.
Amazing.
He has a stat.
I was gonna make a poster board. And Braggs, 3 guests. Shayne, 1 guest.
About the same number of bricks you've laid in the last fucking 2
0
months.
guests, and Jackal negative.
Stop talking. Get him off the
I
air.
don't know what a fucking thumbnail is, Shayne. I just like it when it looks like a broken arrow on my YouTube.
I work 8 hours a week.
Jackal, is there an update on the hats? People were asking me.
So
you were working on this.
There is.
Okay.
It's coming.
That's what she said.
No, legit. They're in the work, like a real graphic designer designed the logo. It's
Okay,
I'm not
great.
trying. I'm trying to come correct for you guys. I'm not trying to fucking. I mean, I spent money on this shit, so it's fucking. I'm trying to impress. I don't want it to be a piece of garbage and look like a Braggs in the stands.
Got a hat coming.
Hey, now.
Yeah, I love that design. I asked Ron G to make me a DDP similar. That's how much I love this Smartest Man logo there. See it? SM, Smartest Man. Also, Shayne Marsaw. Same initials. That being said, we'll be back next week. I believe, depending on Barrelissimo's health, X's with the O's on Saturday. We gotta have
It's only 11:20 here.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I did have another thing.
In the region.
Wait, we have to save this for last. Those of you, I real quick, Shane. I'm sorry. Then I'll
don't
play the
another
ender.
song.
Just this right here, the NFL Network, the NFL fucking, our network's about the tape. So
I thought we were going to go live
plan.
with this, just on a show dedicated to it.
And we'll do that.
Yep.
That being said,
Greg's
we'll save that for another show. God bless you. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Maybe X's with the O's on Saturday, depending on Barlissimo's health, and me and Shane's conversation tomorrow after he's rested. God bless you. Thank you all again for coming out in such big numbers tonight. God bless. Good night.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.
No, we're very economical, my family.